What made you decide to do podcasts about like relationships? Like where did that come about?
I'll answer that. Well, we just went live. I got you, Mina. But what's up, everybody? Did you guys hear my sound effect?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure that's working. Okay, what's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? Welcome to another session of the Cover Club Podcast. You guys already know my name is Will. I'm your top local host of this show, live out of San Francisco on this beautiful Wednesday night, Hot Topic Wednesdays. You guys already know we always come together with a panel group of men and women, and we discuss some hot topics for you guys. As always, I appreciate you guys always tuning in, as always, to my live show. But we got a great panel for tonight, and we got a great topic to discuss with you guys, and we got some more people jumping on pretty soon. But I'm gonna play my intro video real quick, and let's get it.
What are we arguing about?
A man is gonna do what a man wants to do.
All on your wrist. Make you my wife, you no longer my bitch.
Let's get it. My name is Will. I'm the host of this show, the number one Polynesian podcast in the world.
Dripping in Versace. All these other hoes trying to copy.
Women tend to bounce around in relationships. They can't stick and stay in a long-term relationship.
Again, don't agree with this. Just
So let's say, are you still in it? Are you still in it?
no. So you're basically saying I'm a whore.
This content is not suitable for the children under the age of 18 without adult supervision. Please be advised.
So I just wanted to take the time and make this video to apologize to absolutely nobody.
Love all the freaky things you do. My love was way overdue. That's when you came out the blue.
All right, welcome back, everybody.
That was a smooth intro, man. I like that.
All right, thank you, thank you, Brandon. Welcome back, welcome back. Thank you so much, everybody. Welcome back to the Cup God Podcast, Wednesday Hot Topics, live out of San Francisco. Thank you so much. We have a great show planned for you guys. As you guys can see, we have a hot topic to discuss. It's going to be an interesting hot topic to discuss. We definitely have a panel that's definitely going to join us pretty soon, and we're going to get right into it. As always, everybody out there watching and be part of my live stream, thank you so much. You guys already know what to do. If you love the content, if you find value in the content, smash that like and subscribe button. Okay, and so that way you can definitely follow, get notifications when we do go live. I see Live, Love, Play, and Plan and Pray on the live chat. I finally got the notification. Oh, great job. Yay. All right. Excited to have you. Glad you got the notification, and glad to have you part of the show. Nevertheless, if you're watching this for the first time on the stream, don't forget this is a public show. You can join as a public guest if you want to be part of the panel. I already posted the link on the YouTube live chat. So if you want to jump on, if you love the discussions we're having, you want to jump on and share your point of view, click on that link on the YouTube live chat. So if you're watching this on Facebook, watching this on Twitter or X, now they call it, you have to come to YouTube, click on that link, and you'll definitely be able to jump on. And appreciate everybody. Don't forget my locals. If you want to support and donate to my channel and support my podcast, you can subscribe and sign up and be a member of my locals account. Also my Patreon. It's already on the description of the video. If you subscribe and sign up for the Patreon and locals, you definitely get access to exclusive content, perks, direct access to me, and you'll be able to jump virtually to be a public guest on my Friday and Saturday night shows where it's in studio. So Wednesday, Thursday is a live stream, but on Friday and Saturdays I do bring people in, and especially my Saturday night shows where we bring in ladies to the studio and we talk about dating, relationships. I know a lot of you guys like that podcast, but you guys can talk directly to the ladies and us in the studio if you subscribe to my Patreon and the locals. So I appreciate you guys that do subscribe and sign up for it. You guys are supporting my channel, always trying to give you guys the best quality content for you guys. And of course, you guys already know the Gava podcast. I'm always drinking Gava when we have these conversations. So to all my Gava drinkers out there, I'm always trying to learn more about the Gava culture. And I think I was talking to a guy that is pretty much well versed on the Gava culture in Tong community. And he talked about that when you start the session, you always offer some words of endearment, and you raise your cup before you drink. So I'm gonna offer some words of endearment for everybody out there watching right now. I just want to say thank you so much for all my supporters out there who's always supported me since the beginning of my podcast journey. I just crossed my million views on my podcast, and I've been doing really well. It's based on analytics for the last couple months. It's all because you guys have been watching and you guys been subscribing, and you guys have been sharing my videos. So thank you so much, all you guys out there. Appreciate you guys. I wouldn't have got this far without you guys. Appreciate you guys. And then Brandon and Mina, one day you guys gonna come to San Francisco, and we gotta drink some kava together, and we can have some fun in studio. Especially Brandon. Brandon, whenever you come to San Fran, I'm gonna definitely let me know. Definitely plan a panel for the Saturday night show. You can come down. But as always, appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for all the supporters out there. But let me pass it to the guests. And you go ahead and give yourself a quick introduction real quick. I'll start with our newest guest. First time here on the podcast, trying this for the first time. Excited to have her here all the way from the East Coast. Mina, go ahead and give yourself a quick intro for everybody out there.
Hey everyone, I'm Mina King, and I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
All right, no worries. Thank you so much, Mina. Thank you for jumping on. And then Brandon, I think you've been on the podcast before. I think it's probably your second or third time doing this. Good to see you. Been a while. Oh, this connection just dropped.
Ruh-roh.
Okay. Well, whenever his connection comes back on, and I'll add him on and he can be part of the live stream. Okay. But nevertheless, let's get right into it. And I see you, Fatty. Fatty, whenever I know you send me a message on Instagram, yeah, whenever you're ready, just jump on. And Yadi as well. Okay. And I see a new name on the live chat, Kenny G. Definitely don't recognize your name, but it's good to see you on the live chat. Thank you so much for watching. But we'll go right into it. You guys already know the topic we're going to discuss tonight. Can a woman truly love a man unconditionally? Okay. So let me play this video. I saw this video online. It was it kind of went viral on TikTok. It's related to the topic that we're going to discuss tonight. And we're going to react to it, and then I'll come back to you, Mina, and then you can video what
Let's do it.
about this topic. Okay, so let me play the video. I think this is the one.
And a child and a dog can be loved unconditionally.
Yes.
Men being loved only for money or for their results.
Under a condition, yes.
Yes, for their results.
And that's true.
And that is not true. That is what a society made us believe, but it is not true.
A man has to be loved under a condition. A sedentary person who's sitting and being a burden on the shoulder of the family, for instance, whenever he grows, he has to achieve by a certain age. Is not going to be there for him. He's just someone emotionally loved because you care about him. A man has to be a man, and the word man is translated in providing, in giving, in supporting, in protecting. And repeating this so many times, this is how men are built, to provide. Men have to provide. Without the ability to provide, he can't be loved unless he's disabled.
All right, so I saw that video. It went viral on TikTok. It had a lot of views, but it did start a conversation in the comments. It was interesting, where basically you saw that video that he was describing that men cannot be loved unconditionally unless he has the ability to provide something to the woman and to his family or to society. Okay, I don't know if you guys ever heard of the famous comedian Chris Rock. I don't know if you ever heard him. He had a stand-up. He had a set that he said that the only women, dogs, and children are loved unconditionally. A man is only loved under the condition that he provides something. Okay, so I know today in 2023, we live in a very modern society, very equal society, that we push men and women to be equal. And there is this narrative that, especially in the very Disney romantic fairy tale type relationships, a lot of men are starting to hear from women that, hey, that a woman can truly love you and last forever. But there is a lot of statistics out there that show that if a man doesn't provide financially to his family, then there is a high probability that the woman will leave him or break up their relationship. So it's an interesting conversation to have. I have my opinion that aligns with that guy on that video, but I'd like to hear what you guys have to say. But there are a lot of women out there that say, I can love a man regardless, regardless of what he brings to the table. I can truly love him forever. But I would like to hear from you, Mina. I'll start with you. What do you think? What's your general thoughts on the topic of the discussion? Can a man
Of a woman loving
truly
unconditional?
unconditionally?
I think it's possible. I definitely think it's possible. I mean, yes, dogs love unconditionally, kids unconditionally. I think it's just like genetic wise, but honestly, I think it just goes back to how the person is, like at least from my personal experience, the people that I've been with haven't been well off. I don't focus on that. I focus more so on like you treating me correctly, how you make me feel. Are you supportive? Are you there when I need you? Can I talk to you? Are you emotionally supportive? So I think it's definitely possible to love unconditionally if for richer or for poorer. I just feel like people abuse it. And I feel like that's why society has turned into what it's turned into now, where people select and demand certain things without giving it back. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit.
So,
Can you give me an example of what you just explained?
So pretty much like from personal experience, speaking of me, the person I was with for 4 years was not well off. They didn't have absolutely anything that nowadays you see on TikTok or like what is demanded, what females expect, what females want. And mind you, I was with them for 4 years. The reason the situation ended was because I got tired of being patient. And I was like, okay, you're taking my love for granted. And then you have to start doing like, okay, what actually do you do for me? Clearly, I didn't care about the money. I was with you before money, and that's fine. But where are you on the emotional scale? Are you available when I'm crying in the middle of the night? Are you there? I'm a single mom. Are you a good role model for my son? If I'm hungry, do you bring me food? Do you offer me? Do you DoorDash? So I feel like you don't have to be the richest person. You just have to be emotionally present. And if you're emotionally present, somebody loving you unconditionally is not an issue. It shouldn't be an issue, that is.
Okay. Hey, before I pass it to Brandon, Mina, if you don't mind me asking, was he a provider? Like, was he that type of provider in your relationship?
No, he wasn't. Like I said, with him, it was just, I think it was more so, it was like having my best friend plus the romance and everything, but it wasn't like, oh, I'm going to pay your rent, or, oh, I'm going to get your nails done, or, oh, I'm going to get your hair done, or it was nothing like that. It was just like, he was just there. And it eventually just ended up being just there. That makes sense.
Okay.
And eventually, after a lot of soul searching, you look at it like, dang, like I really was patient with this person. And all I know is if I'm able to love somebody unconditionally that didn't do anything for me, literally, I'm hyper independent. I take care of myself, it's definitely possible to love somebody unconditionally that does the complete opposite of that. So I think it just depends on the person. It really does.
Okay. All right. No worries. Thank you for sharing that, Mina. Okay. I'm gonna pass it. I'm gonna pass it to Brandon. Brandon, before you respond, I know your camera went out in the intros. Give yourself a quick intro, and then for everybody out there watching this for the first time who may not know who you are, then you can just go right into your response.
Yeah, for sure. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah. No, I appreciate you, Will, man. It's always a pleasure being on the pod. Like what you're doing, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Shoot, yeah, I'm Baby Strokes, B-Rob. Uh, Shit, man. I'm just here to, talk my shit. Listen, listen to everybody, and yeah, speak on this because it's a good topic. It's a really good question. Um, Shoot, but nah, I definitely agree with it. Um, I mean, look, like the video said, really, it's like kids and then probably animal like dogs, really, that do get that unconditional love.
Yeah.
Like Mina, for example, you did you say you have a son? Is that right? Okay. Let's say like your son was in Walmart and like up the blick, you know, did something that like violent, that wouldn't be a good thing, right? But you still like love your son. You wouldn't abandon him. You would probably still go to his case, support him in prison, all that good stuff, right? Let's say you had a man you was dating for like 8 years. He did that. Like it's over, So like, um, nah, there's definitely conditions. Like as a man, if you don't pay the bills, like you just take too much time off, it's only a matter of time before it's gonna fall apart. I don't care how much you love him. I don't care how great things are. You know what I'm saying? It won't work. And if it's not money, then you could get in like a freak accident. Like God forbid. But realistically speaking, like as a woman, you're gonna dip. Like it sounds messed up, but nah, not unconditionally. There's definitely conditions. A good attachment to the man is it'd be really hard to you know sever that love. It would take a lot, but nah, I think there's definitely conditions. But men, I think men are better at loving unconditionally. Like we love for real,
What?
in my opinion. Yeah, hell yeah,
We know.
hell yeah. I could explain. I could explain.
Okay,
Later,
please do.
later. I'll explain later. I don't want to talk too much. I'll explain later.
It's interesting. Let me just play this video. I saw this video too about that supports Brandon's point of view. Let me just play it. I think there we go.
Love a woman unconditionally, but I don't think a woman can love a man unconditionally.
What? Really?
Yeah.
I beg to differ. I think it's the other way around.
No.
I think a woman can love a man unconditionally. And
Not
most men.
Not forever.
You don't think so?
No.
Damn.
No. I think when a man loves a woman for real, like, he'll love her forever.
Okay, so it's interesting. It's interesting conversation. Let me remove this. There we go. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. So far, I see D as a nice fall on the live chat. Let's get that live chat popping. Let me know what you guys think. What do you agree or disagree? Do you think that a woman can truly love a man unconditionally, or do we only love men based on the conditions that he provides something? So thank you for bringing up Brandon and Mina. Pass it to you, Yadi. Yadi, thank you for jumping on. Give yourself a quick intro for people who may not know who you are, and then you can go ahead and give your thoughts on what you think about the topic. Go ahead, Yadi.
Hi, so sorry for being late. I had my phone off all day and I just lost track of time. I'm so sorry. I am 41 years old. I have 5 kids. I've been married and divorced twice already. I am from Houston, Texas, and I'm old-fashioned in the sense of relationships. And so that's my intro. And as far as that video, I would have said a woman usually loves a man unconditionally because we do give so much leeway typically. But it is true. Like if that man's not showing up how he should be, or if the disrespect gets too bad, or the effort is not put into it anymore, then I do think that love will fade, you know? So there are conditions, and in both scenarios, men and women.
All right. Thank you for sharing, Yanni. I'll bring it back to the panel. We all got a chance to respond. I know there are some faces that disagreed on some things. We agreed on some things. So let's open up for open conversation. If you want to respond to what somebody said or you disagreed, you can go ahead and respond to them right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna be 100. Like, nah, it sounds good on paper, you know, but like, it's just there's conditions, you know what I'm saying? Like, if a man's not on his P's and Q's, you will stop loving him. You might have like love for him, cared about him, but like, it's definitely conditional, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, the only people that you should reserve unconditional love for is like your children, because they come straight from you. You know, it's an extension of you. It's not some strange, because at the end of the day, it's a relationship. It's a whole stranger. You don't know that person. Like, they're not from your family. You know what I'm saying? So like, a kid, you definitely gonna have, like, your kid can be the worst, most evil, violent, mean, like rude. You're still gonna love your kid, but like, a man can't do that. Like, come on, your kid can get fat as hell. You're gonna love your kid, but if your man put on 150 pounds, come on, he's gone. Like, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, but we got to keep it a buck. That's just how shit is. But like I said, I saw some people make some faces. I would say yes, like, men definitely love harder than women, like more for real. Cause like, when a relationship ends, who be hurting longer? Usually the dude. Who move on faster? Usually the woman. Like, come on, like, let's be, you know, what y'all think? I don't know. What y'all think?
Okay, can I tap in now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'm tapping in. So essentially, I get what you're saying. Like, I do 110%. Like, obviously, you're going to love your kid unconditionally, right? But I also do think that there's a huge difference between a population of women that don't have kids and do have kids. So I feel like a woman that has kids are a lot more patient with people, period, because you're in a situation where you can relate to multiple people. You feel me? So at least from my personal experience, having my son was the biggest blessing, due to the fact that it's made me more empathetic to people's situations. Because I think about my son. He's a boy. He's eventually going to turn into a man. You feel me? So when it comes to my personal experience with the person I was involved with for 4 years, once again, this person did not do what you would expect somebody to do that's been involved with you and supposedly in love with you for 4 years. Okay. But even with that being said, I didn't stop loving him. I wasn't like, oh, because you did this. Like, no, like, even to this day, I still got love for that person. I do. Unfortunately, people have to grow apart to find themselves. And that's when you have to remove yourself from the situation. Not because you don't love them unconditionally. It's because sometimes you got to love somebody from afar, because it does not matter. Like, it doesn't matter.
Abandon. You gotta abandon them. That's what you're saying. That's love.
No,
That ain't
you
love.
gotta love. No. Correction. You gotta love from afar, especially if you've invested hella time. I'm not talking about 2 months, 3 months, 4. I'm talking about years of time invested. And just like vice versa, you gotta love yourself and be like, yo, do I deserve this? Do I truly, man and women, period. Like, you got to look at yourself and really be like, yo, do I deserve this after so much years with this person? And so many times of like reminders of like, oh, hey, baby, like, can you try this? Or like, oh, that's not working for me. Oh, like, that's not my love language. Sometimes it's best to just be like, you know what? You're not respecting my boundaries. And I don't love you any less. I don't have ill will towards you. I don't have bad feelings towards you, but I got to prioritize myself. I do. Just like you need to prioritize yourself, because clearly you can't be present for me right now. And that's the definition of unconditional love, is truly loving somebody and accepting things for what it is. That's what it is. And I feel like a lot of people get it confused. A lot of people are starting to put a price tag on it. And that's not what it is. And unfortunately, like I said, I know tons of like grandparent stories, and you think that they had no rocky moments, no hard moments. You know, like sometimes love is just putting yourself first so that person can also look at themselves, fix what they need to fix. And you know, time tells. Time tells, and sometimes that's what you have to do.
Before I pass it to Fatty, I have a quick question for Mina and Yadi. Mina and Yadi, because you guys both mentioned you guys have kids, correct? Could you love your kids from afar?
Do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first, Yadi?
It's like, because if you say your kids are acting bad behavior, and you're like, you know what, I don't want to deal with this no more. I just want to love them from afar. So let me just create some distance from my kids, go have them somewhere else, and I'll just love them afar. Could you?
Yes. So I will go ahead and go first because Mina looks young, so I'm sure her kid is young. I have a 21-year-old. Okay. He's been out of my house since he was 16. He is a great kid. Well, he's a man now, right? He's great. I don't have any complaints like that. I'm very proud of him. But I have always told all my children that this is a little bit dark, but if they ever did anything to endanger any of their siblings, then maybe not that I wouldn't love them, but I would think of my other children first. So in that aspect, I would be like, you need to go. You're endangering my other kids. I can't deal with this. I'm sorry. Like, this is your choice. Like, I would see if there's any way I can help him, but I would put my other kids first. And the other side, not so drastic. If they're living their life in a way that just is horrible, you've already tried to help them, there's nothing more that you can do, and you don't want to be surrounded with that, then I would love them from far. Like, that's your choice. We are all adults. We all get to choose the life that we want to live. Like, they're not put here to live the life I decided they should have. Everybody has their own path, but if it doesn't sit right with me, then I'll just love you from here, and you go do you.
Okay.
So to touch base with that, I do agree with that. Due to the fact that, like I said, eventually your child grows up. They're their own person. And I feel like the most thing that's important about being a parent is that, like, you have to keep that in mind. Sometimes a parent gets stuck in the idea of living their wanted identity through their children. Yeah. And that's the most toxic thing a person can possibly do, a parent can possibly do. Because at the end of the day, they're their own entity. They're going to grow up, be their own woman, own man. They're going to make their own choices. All you can do is cross your fingers, pray to God that every moral thing that you've implemented on your child sticks and they're able to know right from wrong. And like I said, I've seen numerous cases and numerous situations. For example, a person that is struggling with substance abuse. You have the parents that encourage the behavior because they're like, you know what, I don't want my kid to be on the street. I don't want this and that. But at the end of the day, you're helping your child dig their own grave. So in that situation, you do have to love them from a distance. You do, because me as a parent, I'm not going to help you dig your own grave. I'm not going to help you, throw your life away. Yeah. And if it doesn't change the fact I love you more than anything. And that's why I'm making the decision that I'm making. And mind you, my son is 8. So he's young, but my son also has disabilities and different things that we've had to figure out and struggles and everything. It doesn't make you love them any less. You just have to do, at the end of the day, what will protect them,
Yeah.
keep them safe, even if they don't see it. And I do feel like you carry that over into relationships, that if the person isn't doing good by you, it doesn't mean that you don't love them. It means that you're making your own choices.
Okay. All right, no worries. Thank you for sharing that, Mina. As always, thank you so much, everybody on the live chat. You guys are going off in the live chat right now. Thank you so much. Shout out to the live chat real quick. Okay, I see a lot of you guys. The Sophisticated Jerk, Beans, aka Little Podcast, Nino the Prophet, a lot of Dark Belief, a lot of new names on here. And I do recognize some names from the previous podcast.
Will.
Yep.
Do you guys, is he low or is me? It's me? Will, can you bring it up a little bit?
The volume?
Yeah, the volume is low. Yeah.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Is it better now?
Sound like muffled or something like. Sounds like you're not talking with the with that microphone.
Let me just check my audio real quick. Okay. You know what? Let me just. I'll pass it to you, Fatty.
Mm-hmm.
And you can go and then I'll try to fix my audio. Okay.
Okay. Do you have it? Because I caught it on a little bit on the middle. They're talking about unconditional love.
Yeah. Can a woman truly love a man unconditionally?
Absolutely not. Can I pass the microphone now? No, I'm joking. Absolutely not. Women are very selective. If they love unconditionally, everything would actually be accepted. You have no conditions. So don't care if he's short, if he's fat, if he's broke, if his dick is small, if he doesn't know how to talk, if he's not funny, you love him unconditionally. Women actually have a lot of conditions when they love somebody. If you break them, like Mana was saying, they will choose to love themselves and to get the hell out of the situation. Love unconditionally doesn't exist. The only people that actually might love you unconditionally might be your mama. You might delete somebody. You might do something very bad. You might go to jail. She's probably going to visit you every Sunday. Women, unfortunately, romantically, they don't love unconditionally. They believe in utilitarianism, which means if you don't have no utility, if you don't make me feel something, if you don't make my life easier, if you don't make me look better, I don't want nothing to do with you. That's the farthest away from actually unconditional. You want to test your mic, Will?
Yeah. Is it better now?
Oh, yeah. Now it's good.
Okay. All right. Thank you for sharing that, Fatty. And don't forget, this is a public live stream. So if you do want to jump on, click on the link that's posted on the YouTube live chat. Click on that link and you'll be able to jump on. Quick question to Mina and Yadi. Obviously, I agree with the fellas. I do believe I don't think women can love a man unconditionally. I think it's biological. As men, we have to provide or protect. That's our biological responsibility and duty to the family. And that's what most women are looking for in a man, is to come in, is become a leader and provide or protect the family. But let me ask you, Mina and Yadi, what are your expectations for a man? Do you expect your man to be the provider, to be the protector? Obviously, you have kids. Obviously, when you talk to most women, I'm not saying majority of women, when you have conversations with women, they want a man that's competent and has the ability to provide, protect them financially, right? So obviously, if the guy underperforms, obviously if the guy is broke, obviously you've heard a lot of girls, I will not date a broke man. You've heard that multiple times on social media. So obviously we understand as men that we have that our responsibility, duty is to be the provider, protector. If we fall short, or we start to suffer, or we start to get complacent and lazy, if we don't perform, naturally for most women, they will naturally they'll give you some time, because obviously if you guys are dating or in a relationship, obviously there's some emotional connection there. But I think it was Brandon, it's limited, it's temporary. So as a man, if you don't get your life together to be that strong provider, protector, naturally for most women to go find it, look somewhere else. So I just want to ask Mina and Yadi, what are your expectations in the man that you're going to commit to, and the man you're going to marry long term? do you expect your man to be the provider protector? And is your expectation for him to be able to be committed to him, loyal to him, is under the condition that he provides, protect? If he starts getting lazy, if he starts getting complacent, and then if he doesn't provide and protect, and you have to carry that responsibility and working in 2 or 3 jobs to pay for the bills, and he's not really doing his part, doing his end, are you still gonna love him, or are you gonna look for somewhere else to find somebody else? So I'll start with you, Mina. What do you look for it when you're looking for a man? Because obviously you say you're single right now, but do you expect him to be the provider protector, to come into your life, to be that strong provider protector for you and your child?
Yes, it would be ideal, you know, but at the end of the day, I feel like everybody has to lift their own weight. I mean, that's what it is. Like, you can't. I'm really big in, like, if I know I can't bring something to the table, I'm not going to demand it from you.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, what do you like your ideal man that you prefer? Do you prefer him to be a strong provider protector, that he can provide financially for you and your kid, like for you personally?
I would want them to be emotionally there, you know, mentally, physically. Just because money comes and goes, you can lose your job. And then,
well, if you have a responsible man, right, you can lose his job, but he'll find another job and keep it going, right? So if the man's responsible, if he is accountable, but if he loses his job and and there's no ambition to go find another job, and he just starts relying on you to pay the bills, and he's just chilling at home, obviously that's gonna sit wrong with you, right?
yeah. I mean, I feel like everybody, like I said, everybody needs to lift their own weight. And with that being said, I think what I have, up to this date at least, what I've expected from the people that I've been involved with has been just be emotionally available. Everything else will fall into place, but if you're not emotionally there, I mean, I don't care how much money you make. Like, that's not gonna
Would it be possible for you to be with a man that is emotionally available, but he's lazy and he doesn't like to go to work, and he's depending on you to pay all the bills, but he's emotionally available, and he's
emotionally available, and he is encouraging my dreams behind the camera, helping me make my videos. If he's part of the dream, part of the goal, then that's fine.
So you're a content creator?
So you're fine with a man that wants you to be financially responsible 100% of all the bills, but he's gonna get the camera, he's gonna get everything set up. He doesn't want to go work. He doesn't want to go out there and work and provide for the family. But he'd rather just be emotionally available and then just depend on you to carry that burden. That is okay with you.
I mean, that would be fine, because at the end of the day, like, again, I'm a single mom. Like, my kid relies on me, so I don't care about what I need to take care of myself. And if somebody comes and adds to my life, that's great. I'm not going to reject it. I'm not going to turn it away. Like, I feel like there's a lot of ways a person can be there. Okay. Not just, here's my credit card.
I have a 1-second question.
Go ahead.
Have you ever been with somebody emotionally unavailable?
Yeah, absolutely.
Many times?
I've only been truly in love 3 times.
And of those 3 times, how many of them the man was emotionally unavailable?
I think twice.
Twice. So there's your type.
Yeah.
Doesn't that prove that your condition that you put for the next man actually is not something that you like, because 2 of the 3 out of them was emotionally unavailable, and you actually were attracted to them and you like them like that? Doesn't that prove the point?
I think that the reason I'm in the situation that I'm in, and why I've been with somebody why I was with somebody for so long, is because I didn't have condition. I just wanted you to be present. And the thing about him is he wasn't even present. So, like, he didn't financially,
he was.
but he wasn't
so-
emotionally present either. So, with that being said, like, if somebody came into my
Mhm.
life that was emotionally present but didn't have the finances, I wouldn't turn them away. Just be emotionally present.
Well, that's fair. But like, if you ask me, Faye, what's your type of woman? And I'll say, for me, with what matters is the interior. I don't care if you have a big booty, some big titties, and all that. And you say, Fatty, of your exes, how many of them had big booty and big titties? 2 out of the 3. You would say, so that's kind of your type, right? Because you're telling that you don't need them. But now, if I look at my exes, they actually have big booty and big titties, means that I, for some reason, am attracted to that. So with women, it's kind of funny that they will. It's like women and their kids, and I'm sorry for deflecting a little bit from the main topic. It's like a woman will raise a kid to be an awesome kid. My son will be a respectful man, an honorable man. He's going to be a man that everybody wants. And then you ask the mom, so is his daddy like that? Oh no, he's a piece of shit. He didn't support me, doesn't like me. Like, that's your type then. You literally like what you like. You actually think you like other things. But in reality, unfortunately, for women and for men, a lot of times, we make conditions that we think we want when our track record actually shows the opposite, which means even if that's the condition for this next guy, kind of is interested in 2 out of 3 was not emotionally available and you still loved him. It seems a lot. That was just a little
Well,
side.
that's what I'm saying, is that there was no condition.
Mm.
That's what I'm saying, is that there was no condition. So the topic in itself is, do women love unconditionally?
Yes.
Right? I didn't have conditions with those 2 guys. I loved them unconditionally, even though
So they did not.
bring anything. They didn't bring anything, and they
Not,
were
no.
not ideal. They were not
So
No.
they didn't make you feel good. They were not good in bed. They didn't make you feel safe. Like nothing.
One of them.
One of them. And so the other 2, they did nothing for you. They're all bad.
Well, the other one. So I told you there's 3. The first one, high school sweetheart. High school sweetheart, and head over heels. Second one, ex-husband. That went to hell very quickly. And then my past experience, my most recent one, like I said, we laughed, great in bed, you know, we liked the same food.
Yo, I got a good analogy. After you done.
We had things in common. But unfortunately, due to the circumstances, I really had to look at the situation from the outside and look at the longevity, and like I said, I invested 4 years. And
this one was the one that was emotionally unavailable, right? Do you see?
I don't want. Let me add to that.
4 years.
Well, hold on. Emotionally unavailable due to the fact that they dealt with a lot of stuff that they weren't able to overcome, and I'm not justifying why they were the way that they were, what have you. The person struggled with a lot. And I'm a very empathetic individual. And I put myself in people's shoes. I do. And we touched a little bit on it when it comes to, since you brought up kids and stuff. I feel like moms just, it happens. You're more understanding to certain stuff. Okay. And sometimes it doesn't always work out, and you can't beat yourself up about it, and you have to keep it pushing.
Okay. All right. And I'll pass it to, thank you for sharing, Mina. I'll pass it to you, Yadi. Go ahead, Yadi.
Okay, so real quick on what Mina was saying, that being a mom, you're a little bit more understanding. I don't think that's the case at all. Because I'm not, me as an adult And as a young mom, I didn't put up with a lot of stuff because to me, it's like, if I can do this without any ifs, ands, or buts, I don't understand how other people can't. Okay. I think we become lenient and understanding, and I say it in quotation marks, because either society or culturally, we're shamed for being single moms. So your standards are already lower. I mean, you were saying yourself that you didn't even have any standards. Okay. So someone who sees their own value and knows exactly what they're worth, they're going to have some kind of standards instead of just allowing anybody to come in, especially when you have a son. Okay. So, and that comes with time, like we're all learning, right? And we need to get out of that mindset of that we're not good enough or that we're damaged goods or, that we don't bring anything to the table. And so the question Will asked was, what did you ask, Will? Something about if the man was,
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
Do you guys, if you're going to go into a committed relationship with a man, do you expect him to be the provider protector in the relationship, and do you expect him to stay that way? And if he starts underperforming, getting lazy, getting complacent, and he doesn't provide and protect as efficiently, and he's starting to depend on you, obviously, would you still stay with him, or would you eventually leave?
Okay, so true story. My second husband, he had knee surgery, so he couldn't work. All right. I had just had our kid, and so the baby wasn't even 2 months, and I went back to work full time. I was working 60, 70 hours. And then that wasn't enough. I was working literally 3 jobs, not sleeping, trying to keep my family afloat, right? Because I was married to him. He had just had surgery. He couldn't work. Then he healed and he sidetracked from the plans. To me, you can go get any kind of job. Okay. You need to find something to do. If you need to go cut the neighbor's yard and ask for money, whatever it is. Okay. There's no excuses. That's what I'm saying. Like, as a mom, there's no excuses. You better bring something, I also do understand like mental health and stuff like that. So I did give him a lot of grace. The turning or the end or the top that just made it end was he decided to go out one night and party with his friends and not come home. And I had to go to work in the morning and I needed him to watch our son. So that to me was like, oh no, mofo, we're not teaching my kids that this is what a man is, because this is not what I want. This is not what I signed up for. And so that was that, So I do see in giving some kind of grace, but if you're putting in jeopardy my kids, I don't care who you are, you're out, So that's my answer to that.
Yo, Lil Yachty, Lil Yachty. I'm just playing. You put that nigga on the shot clock. That's what you did. Let me ask you something. Your two ex-husbands, did you have unconditional love for either of them?
For my first husband, I did not love him. Okay. He knew that whenever we got married. I was told to marry him because he offered me marriage and I had kids already that weren't his, blah, 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 make a family for your kids. So I did, right? But that became physically abusive to where he almost killed me. And so that's how that ended, right? But he's changed a lot. There's respect. We raise our kids amazingly. It was just an era in his life. He was young. He's learned, he's not that man anymore. And he is a good provider to our children. And then
Wait, you say he not the dad though? Like, is he the biological dad or not?
we have a daughter together, but my second daughter, he's raised. So
Damn,
he always says he has 2 daughters, and he always does for both. So
What about the second one though? Did you have unconditional love for like your second ex-husband or not?
I did until he wanted to F with my livelihood and for my kids. And then you lose all respect there. And then there's
So
no more respect. There's no
that's a
love.
conditional. That's a condition right there though. You just like how you gonna say
That's
I
what I
love
said.
you
I said I
unconditionally?
did.
But
I
that's not. But
did.
you can, unconditional is infinite. That means nothing can break. It's continuous. You
Well,
love
you know
somebody
what?
unconditional. There's nothing that
Unconditional
can.
is unrealistic because I don't think anybody loves anybody unconditional. Not even parents.
You love your kids unconditionally though, right? Like, could your
I
kid
can
do
say I
something
do.
so
I can
bad
say
that you would
I
stop
do.
loving them?
I can say
Huh?
I do, but who knows what the future brings, right?
Nah, a mom's not gonna fold on her kids. Like it's in y'all DNA.
They do it all
It's
the
just
time. They do it all the time.
okay,
I'm not
one
I'm
out
not
of
saying
1,000
every woman,
maybe.
but so
Yeah, there's some bad moms. I ain't gonna hold you, but I mean, look, like come on, you just capped really in 4K. You can't say you love your second man unconditionally. You left both of them of your men, so boom. And Mina too. So y'all both. I mean, that's why. Like, look, I just want this to like, no disrespect, but like, that's why you got to look at a woman's actions, not what she's saying, because it sounds good. You got to say up here and say like, I love them unconditionally, but y'all bounce. You don't bounce on somebody that you love unconditionally. What you
yes, you
think? Well, what
can
you think, Fatty?
because
Am
you
I?
love your kids.
I can.
Hey,
I
let me just read this super chats real quick, and then we'll definitely come back. Okay, let me
What's up?
just the sophisticated jerk. Thank you so much. Shout out to you with the $10. All right. Thank you so much, the sophisticated jerk with the $10 super chat. Appreciate you, and that's ETO on the live chat. And showing support, meaning sophistication in the building. Thank you so much, the sophisticated jerk, and that's ETO on the live chat. All right, yeah. Thank you so much, TO, with the live chat with the $5 super chat. Appreciate you guys. As always, thank you so much for showing support and donating to the channel. And whether you guys agree or disagree, don't forget that it is a public show. So you're going to jump on, click on that link on the YouTube live chat, and you can definitely jump on and be part of the conversation. Okay. And let's get that live chat popping. You guys are killing it on the live chat. I would love to hear what you guys have to say. But before I pass it to the panel, I do want to add on to what Brandon, Baby Stroke said on what we just recently just said. I think from the women's perspective, based on what I hear, the way women see it is, even if they have to be distant, even if they have to take some time off or be separated or divorced or end the relationship, for a lot of women, they still feel like they have unconditional love for that man. But what I'm trying to explain to you guys, I guess, Mina, from reality, the way we see it is, once you move on from us, because if you truly loved us, you would stay. That's the way men see unconditional love, right? So obviously, when we hear a lot of women say, "Oh, I have unconditional love with this person, and I love them for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, whatever that number is," there's always a limited time before you move on to find another man. I think Baby Stroke said there's a shot clock. I think most men understand this. If we don't perform to be that provider, protector, to be that strong leader, to be competent for you as a man in your life, we understand that if we don't perform to the best of our ability, then we start underperforming and we start messing up. We know that eventually you're gonna go find another man to do that for you. So for us, is the way men see it is, if you truly loved us unconditionally, you wouldn't leave the relationship. And then as soon as you leave and find another man, then that for the men's eyes, then that's no longer considered unconditional love. Now you can feel like now you can sit here and say, I still love you from afar, or even though I move on to another relationship, I can still love you, have feelings for you. But that's not the men see it, because if you did love me, you would stay. But since you move on to find somebody else, that's why a lot of guys would say unconditional love doesn't. A woman cannot truly love a man unconditionally. So it's because if you truly love somebody unconditionally, nothing changes. You will still stay in the relationship, and you work it out and you figure it out. But if you move on, then that means there were some conditions that wasn't met, and you went and found another man to fulfill the things that man could have fulfilled for you. All right. I'll pass it back to you, Mina. Mina, did you want to respond?
Yeah, so I had a question when it comes to, like you said, guys are under the context of, well, if she loves me, she would stay no matter what.
Yeah.
But you guys, 3 guys, why would you think that I can hurt somebody or I can cause somebody longevity of pain, let's say 4 years of just pain, and think that she's gonna stay? Now we can flip it also where, let's say all you guys are sons, right? So if you cause your mother pain, what makes you think that she deserves that?
Nobody talk about deserve. I don't think nobody on this panel believe in unconditional love. Relationships have conditions, every single one of them. If you don't show up on your job, you get fired. If you betray your friends, you lose a friend. If you steal the girlfriend of your brother probably will never talk with you again. Relationship have baseline conditions. When you are with somebody, that's why unconditional love is like a Disney type of thing. When you are actually in a relationship with somebody, there are conditions from the beginning. I wouldn't be with you if you cheated on me. That literally puts a condition on the relationship, means that I don't love you unconditionally. I love you on the condition that you are loyal. You love me on the condition that I'm a protector and I'm a provider. If I lose my job for a significant amount of time and you feel some type of way, you have all the right to do so, and you don't love me unconditionally because that's the condition for me to be protector or provider. There's probably, and this is speculation, I'm just throwing a number, 0.00001% of unconditional love, because even the mother's love, if I do something, imagine that you have a son and you have a sister, and we know sometimes shady shit happen. If I do something to the daughter of my mom, she could literally say, I don't want to see you ever again, just leave, like, because I broke the condition of hurting my sister. So unconditional love is fairy tale. If you love unconditionally somebody, that probably is Bonnie and Clyde type of the situation. I will hurt you, you will hurt me, we will do whatever, but we'll stick together until we die. And those situations are very, 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 very rare, because at some point of time, somebody gets upset or they gets done because there's piling up 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and decide to go. So there's unconditional love is something that barely exists, if not at all. Most of us will never experience that.
Yeah. Mina, did you want to, or Yadi, did you want to respond?
I don't want to say it's a fairy tale. I think it's very possible. I think it's very possible because I've seen it. You know,
explain me out.
I've worked in a senior home before, and actually, it's not likely. But the reason I know that true love is an actual thing is because I've seen it. You know,
I believe in true love, not unconditional love.
I've asked them, you know, what is the secret? Like, it was the cutest thing. You see her like getting pushed in her little wheelchair, playing together, all that. And
what did they say to you? What did they say?
They weren't perfect. They weren't perfect. They weren't. But they loved each other enough to make it work.
Yes. So what was the secret?
You saying that it's a fairy tale, I don't think that's accurate. Because it's
no, that's fair, but tell us what they say. Because you said, I talked with them, and what was the secret? What was they? We are together for 50 years because this and this and this. What did they told you?
You want to know what she said to me? And I don't know, maybe she was a little kooky, but she was like, men are like fine wine. They mature with age. And when you know.
Oh, man.
That's the secret?
That's facts.
So, again, you stating it's a fairy tale, I think that's not good context. Because
how is that
possible? It just depends on the individuals.
Yes, I have questions. Because you said men mature like fine wine. What does that have to do with me maintaining a relationship with you?
Because it depends on the person. If you want to make it work, you're going to make it work.
Yes,
if a person is telling you, just answered the question. If a person is telling you what they need from you, and you actually pay attention,
Can you stop there? Can you stop there?
Work. Obviously, it can work, but I'm touching base on what you said, that it's a fairy
yes. But let
non-existent when it's very much so existent.
Let's stop there. You said if a person tells you what they need, those are conditions. If I go to Yadi and I say I need this and this on this relationship, this is conditions that I have, so Yadi can be with me. So that defeats the purpose of an unconditional love, because if there's needs on a relationship, now there's conditions, and conditions make that love conditional instead of unconditional. Can you agree with me?
To an extent. I will say to an extent. I will say to an extent.
I will take that. I will take that.
To an extent.
Will, you see, I'm getting better, Will. I'll take that.
A perfect example would be, Mina, you mentioned on this podcast that I guess one of the things that you prioritize from a man is emotional availability, right? So that's a condition. That's a need that you want from the man. That's a condition that you have for a man to be with you. That if you are not emotionally unavailable, even though you did share examples of guys who weren't emotionally unavailable, but you're still with them. But that is the condition that you have. So regardless, everybody's different. Everybody has different expectations. Everybody has different conditions. Some are high, some are low, some have none at all. But we all have basic baseline needs that we want. And if and then for most women, it's the emotional part. For guys, it's sex. Like if we want sex in the relationship, then obviously you're gonna find it somewhere else, because nobody truly loves somebody unconditionally. Because if you love somebody truly unconditionally, that means that you're willing to be with that person, whether they meet your needs or not, whether they meet your expectations or not. The fact that you have expectations, the fact that you have needs, those are defined or classified as a condition, which supports the argument for Fatty, Brandon, and me.
Are you fan of Marvel, Will? Like, the original story of Thanos on the like Thanos, everybody saw Avengers, right? Thanos fell in love with Lady Death. That was unconditional love. He was willing to destroy half of the universe just to prove that he will love her. He will do everything that she needed so he can get her attention. And she was in love with Deadpool because Deadpool couldn't die. And she's Lady Death, so she was enamored with the fact that he couldn't die. That's unconditional love. When you are willing to do everything to show somebody that you actually love that person, and you put no restrictions in whatever you can do, so you actually get the validation and the love of that person. People don't move like that on real life. That's only on comic books.
And usually when you see old couples, usually when you see people that are truly in love, like Mina explained about the old couple, usually it's because they're both getting what they want out of a relationship.
Yep.
We don't see it. We don't see it behind closed doors of their relationship. We only see the surface level of them being together, being happy, showing affection in public. So we see that, and then we have this concept. Oh, see, that's true love. But if you really diagnose it, people only stay together if they actually get what they want from the relationship. The moment, and the more you get out what you want, then the longer you stay. If you don't get what you want, you're gonna leave. That's the same for That's the same for a job. That's the same for a career. It doesn't matter. If you're getting what you want, you stay. If you don't get what you want, you get resentful, you get bitter, you're gonna leave. It's for everything in life.
And
Facts.
Go ahead.
And check this out too. Right? The main difference is between like them seniors that you see in them homes and stuff, right? Back then, society was like preaching, "Hey, that nigga, leave that nigga. He don't make me happy. Bounce." Like all that. You know what I'm saying? Like today, but back then it was more like they was really ride or die. Like really, like great grandmas, they was riding and dying. So all the people you see in the senior homes, right? They believe in that because society reinforced that. Like people lock in and do it for life. So unconditional love was like it might not have been for real, but it was more less of a fairy tale, as Fatty would say back then. It was more like somewhat realistic, you feel me? But today, society basically be like telling women like dip when shit get hard, dip. If he don't do this for you, dip. Like they don't teach y'all how to like really ride that shit out. That's why I don't really fault women all the way because society like it's like negative reinforcement. They basically teach y'all the wrong shit. So to keep it 100, like you know, I'm just saying it used to be closer to that, but not as much today. Type shit.
Okay. There's go ahead, Mina. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I definitely get what you're saying for sure. But like again, it just goes back into the people that you surround yourself with, you know, like who you are as a person. You know, like I definitely think it's possible, and it's not even just women getting fed certain stuff. Guys get fed certain stuff. It's both. It's both population. I feel like nowadays you get tricked by the options, by the choices that you have. You know, you got all these dating apps, you have social media, like you have options, and that's how people see it. But like that woman told me, like, when you know, you know. And I don't want to say it's fairy tale. I don't want to say it's out of the window. I don't want to say it's crazy or nonsense. I definitely think it's possible, depending who you are and how you are as an individual.
When you were with your exes, you thought it was forever? Did you thought that they were the ones?
Yeah.
You see what I'm talking about? That's fairy tale. You thought until it wasn't, and it's not. I'm not trying to single you out. I thought
No. By all means. I mean, we're open table.
I know, but I thought that too. I thought too that this is the one until it wasn't, and then the next one until it wasn't, and this is actually life. There's one thing that actually you tell that is kind of interesting. You saw when I got here, and sorry if I'm taking out of context, that unconditional love or true love is sometimes you have to put yourself first, right? Something like that. Like you have to prioritize yourself. In reality, true love is when people try to outcompete to serve each other. True love is concession after concession after concession after concession. This is not good for me, but it's for my husband. Let me actually do a concession. And then the husband said, oh, she did something that was good for me, but not for her. So next time I'll try to outcompete her. Like, this is actually how relationships usually work. When people are inside of a relationship and they are actually altruistic, they are not there for what they can get. They are there to outserve the other person. I protect you, you feed me, I fuck you, you take me on a trip, I will buy you a car, you will, like, you make my life easier. That's how usually the most durable relationships work, is when two people make a competition, not to actually be better than the other person, but to actually outserve the other person. When you make it about yourself, that relationship is on their deathbed as long as, and I'm not going to say this because there's a lot of men that happy wife, happy life, right? They might be miserable for decades as long as the wife and the kids are good. That situation actually lasts. But in 2023, like Baby Stroke was saying, that now everybody, the first thing is leave, 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 leave. She doesn't deserve you. He doesn't deserve you. He can do better. Now, actually, people are becoming extra selfish. People are becoming, unfortunately, getting into relationships for the wrong reasons. What can the person do for me? And that's actually the is a very is a disfigurated, like a very disturbed way of looking at love. What I can get instead of actually what I can give is not you loving somebody, is you being in love. How they make you feel, how they treat you, is not the other way around.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that, Fatty. Yadi, did you want to add on something, Yadi? Or you can?
No, I agree with Fatty. A lot of the times it is like, what can I get out of it? And sometimes, even if you do love somebody unconditionally, right? Like they did in the day, and I'm saying like in quotation marks, unconditionally, because the way that we're taught now about don't put up with this, or, you know, the thing is, no relationship is perfect all the time, right? And it's about trying to make things work. And also deciding what it is you can just deal with. Like, we have to accept people for the way that they are and the way that they show up. and deciding for yourself, okay, this is somebody that, yeah, it's not perfect, or these conditions aren't being met, but I think these that are being met make it work, you know? In that aspect, you just try to outweigh, because nobody's perfect, right? And so I'm not going to be able to meet every expectation that this person has, and vice versa. So it's just also coming to a compromise and being a little bit more realistic on what makes a relationship and what can make it last, instead of just the, oh, this is how I feel right now, right? Like everything is based on feelings, majority for women, and it shouldn't be like that, because feelings come and go, right? You need to start thinking a little bit more logical. So I don't know. I agree. I agree a lot with what Fadi says.
Okay. All right, no worries. Let me just read the super chats real quick. And there is a question from the sophisticated jerk, and we're gonna respond to that question. So first from To, $5 super chat. Shout out to you. Thank you so much. Okay. Women love their tiny portable dogs more unconditionally that do nothing for them more than they love men. Okay. Thank you for sharing that. And the sophisticated jerk, $5 super chat, asked the question for the panel: which gender has more conditions in a relationship? I already know the answer. There are two
Wait a minute, bro. Wait a
Let
minute.
him go. Let him go first.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask. I'll start with the ladies. I'll answer that question. Which gender has more conditions in a relationship? And then I would ask you also is, can you just name the condition, your non-negotiable conditions that you expect out of your man, for a man to be in a committed, loyal marriage or long-term relationship? So just answer the question: which gender has more conditions in a relationship, and what are your non-negotiable conditions that a man has to perform or do in order to get your absolutely loyalty and commitment to him for a long-term relationship and building a family? I'll start with you, Mina.
God, that's like not a good question. I think both. Like I can't say that the females or I can't. It's both. You know, I can only speak from my own experience, and I've dated women and I've dated men. It's both. And then when it comes to like my conditions, conditions, it's, you need to have communication. Like that's
You
it. Just
did.
communication. Like just, if you're able to be in tune with what's going on in your head and what's going on in your chest, there is no reason for stuff to get misconstrued or shit to get prolonged. Oops, am I almost things to get like, you know, like if you're able to communicate appropriately, respectfully, and sincerely, I mean, things can get solved. But if you're resistant, or if you're in avoidant type of style where like you don't want to deal with it, then that's where problems lie.
So communication is one. Anything else? It has to be more, right?
Loyalty. And
Okay.
I'm not talking like romantically. I'm talking about loyalty. Like loyalty, friendship, romantically, like just be true. Be true to the people that you supposedly care about. That's it, man. Just be
So
true.
communication, loyalty, anything else?
No.
No? No physical expectations for his health or how
When
he
it comes
looks?
to like physical, like if we're talking about sexual and stuff like that, I mean that's something that can be taught. You know, like that's something you can learn. Like you can learn things. I think communication is like a challenge to learn, because you know people go through different things in life that make them reluctant. You know, or like Fatty said, just you know, being
Does he have to be in shape? Does he have to be physically fit?
I the person I was with wasn't physically fit. I've had some that are physically fit. I mean, if you're interested, I love going to the gym. Like, I'm more than happy to bring my person along to the gym and stuff like that. So, like I said, things can be worked on.
Okay.
As long as you're willing to learn and you're open-minded, and I mean, I don't.
I mean, he can't be. I mean, he can't be obese, right? He can't be like.
Yes, he can. Will stop fat shaming, please.
Stop fat shaming. Yeah, I know. Don't fat shame. Don't do that.
I would definitely.
Honestly, just be a good person. People, just be a good person. That's it.
So
that
I mean,
easy.
Obesity, right? He can't be obese. Just
yes.
Keep it honest, right? He can't be
I mean,
obese.
I can't speak on it because it hasn't happened. You know, nobody has come into my life that is obese. Like, no, like, I can't speak on it because it hasn't happened. I can only speak from like the people I've interacted with, the people in my life, what I've gone through, you know, the things that I've accepted, haven't accepted, whatever. And some of them haven't been fully fit, like jacked, buff. You know, some have been a little loosey-goosey. Like, just be a good person, man. Just be a good person.
Okay.
It's not rocket science.
Okay. All right. What about finances? Any expectations on his financial ability to take care of you and your son, or no? Like, any standards?
Yeah. If you have, I mean, if you have the finances, great. If not, I take care of myself. I'm okay regardless. Regardless, I'm okay.
So you're going to. So that's not a non-negotiable. That's so for you.
No, it's not. Like, regardless, I got me. I'm good. I'm okay. So like.
So if a man approached you and he's like, "Look, I'm interested in you, but just to let you know up front, I don't have a job. I don't have any intentions of getting a job, but I will invest emotionally into you and communicate to you and loyal to you. But I have no intentions of getting a job or providing for you and for your son."
Can we count my high school sweetheart? I didn't have a kid then though, so but
yeah, that was high school.
I'm talking about now. I'm talking
count
about
that because like he didn't. I mean, we were seniors. Normally,
you were
seniors,
kids.
like,
yeah. So I'm talking about now. So if a man approached you today and said, "I don't have a job, and I don't have any intentions of getting a job, and any intentions of taking that duty and responsibility to provide for you and your son, but I will communicate with you. I will be loyal to you. I will be emotionally available to you, but I don't want to work and provide for you." Will you give that man a chance?
Is he gonna help me make money?
Yeah, well, he can help you make money, but he's not gonna personally
going live and being part of that, all of that.
Yeah, he can do that. He's not gonna go out there to the world and provide any kind
Is
of.
he your assistant? Would you be okay with an assistant?
Yeah. Yep.
So if he was just your assistant, carry your bags, take a few shots, it would be perfect. Fine, paying all the bills.
Yeah, like literally, like help me make my content. As long as you're feeding into my dream, into my ambition, into my goals, and not affecting my money, I'm good.
Oh Lord. Okay.
It's not OnlyFans, right?
Okay.
What?
It's not OnlyFans, right?
Totally fans? What was?
No, if it's OnlyFans when you say your content. Not right. It's not OnlyFans. Yes.
No.
Just
I'm not against people that have OnlyFans. I'm not against it.
No, it's fine. I just wanted to make sure how you're so confident about like sharing. No, it's fine. And I'm sorry for actually like is this.
No, I'm not against anybody that has an OnlyFans. I don't personally have one. But
Yes, because you were very confident about you being able to carry the financial load of the relationship as long as and that's usually for either people that get a lot of money or people that are actually so immersed on their job that they actually want somebody to help without bringing somebody from the outside. But I'm very confused. I'm not going to lie. So I'm going to be quiet.
I mean, have you not? I mean, there's a bunch of women that take care of themselves.
No, it's confused because it seems. No, let me tell you why it's confused. You said that you had a couple of relationships, and usually when people go through life and go through some relationship, they start to tie up what they want and what they don't want. They kind of start here and then they learn, and when they look at themselves after the experience they have, they are here. You are very open, loose. When I say very, like, it's very abstract what you want. It seems like you, and I'm sorry if I'm wrong, you did no introspection about what you actually want. Because if I told you to write what you want, it seems like it's everything. When I say everything, not everything, anything. Oh, it can be this and it can, and people usually don't work like that. People have a type.
I think, like, well, you've just met a unicorn. I think that it's just the fact that, like, I focus on me. I worry about me, and whoever comes into my life, I play it for what it is. And who doesn't. At the end of the day, I'm taking care of me. I'm making stuff happen for myself and for my son, and that's just what it is. Like, that's just how I am.
Mina,
I mean,
quick question to you, Mina, if you don't mind. Usually, when I talk to women who, obviously, there are women out there who are taking care of themselves and providing for themselves. But I have heard from a lot of women that say that they do it because they have to, not because they want to, because of their circumstances. If it was left, if in the ideal world, they would prefer a strong, competent man, masculine man, to do it. But obviously, shit happens in life. You make bad choices. You don't find the right person. You break up, you get divorced, whatever. So you have to. A lot of women have to do it not because they want to. So my question to you is: obviously, you can do it on your own, but is that if you had a choice to do it on your own or be aligned with a man that can do that for you? Like, what would you pick?
Obviously, I would be aligned, not even just with a man, a woman too. Like, whoever comes into my life, like, obviously, like, it. But at the end of the day, until that day comes, like, I'm not fairy telling. I'm not saying, oh, screw love because I've been screwed over or whatever the case may be. Like, no, I'm gonna go to the beat of my own drum. What works for me, what I like, what I want. As long as my kid is happy, I'm happy. Like, everything else can.
But that's the point, because this is what you said. You said, I've been through these people, I had no conditions, and this is why my relationship fails. And now you say that now you have conditions, but by what you're saying, it seems like you still don't have conditions. It's still like you said anything, man or woman, tall or short. You see what I'm saying? Like,
that's not a condition because you're just open. There's no condition.
Yeah, but that's
you're really confused.
No, I'm not confused. No, I'm not. I'm listening to your words. You said my first relationships failed because I had no standards, right? No conditions. It was kind of what you said, right? I'm not lying, right? But now that you're talking about the next person, you are literally telling us, not verbatim, but paraphrasing, that you have no conditions for the next person, which means either you didn't learn nothing, or you actually learned, but you don't want to say actually what you want. Is that fair? What I'm telling you here?
No.
How? No. What are the conditions then?
I'm not putting conditions on the next person. I'm not looking for the next person. I'm chilling.
But if you don't put conditions, that means you're going to do the same thing that made your relationships before fail.
Because you know me?
No, you said that. You said that your past relationships fail because you actually got with people that not like. Remember when I say, did your boyfriends were emotionally unavailable? And you said yes, but that was when I didn't know better and I didn't have conditions. Now it's still don't have conditions. So
no, I'm chilling. If I'm just chilling. I'm chilling. I'm literally chilling. Like
Will, if you are an alcoholic or you're obese, whatever, you have a problem, the first step is admitting that you have a problem so you can fix it. She said, my problem was I didn't have no conditions to this man. And then instead of actually fixing, she's saying, I am open to anything and everything.
But how can I speak? Hold on. But how can I speak about somebody that hasn't come into my life though?
Because that's actually what is. One sec. If I wait. Listen. When I was younger, I would accept anything that looked good, right? But then I learned that physical looks a lot of times are not conducive to a good relationship per se. So now I have to add a little bit more. I want a woman that is loyal. She's not exposing herself on social media. She knows when to be quiet and she knows when to talk. She knows when to voice her opinion without actually fighting. So I'm adding conditions and conditions and conditions. A woman that actually treats good her parents. A woman that is a good daughter, so she's probably going to be a good mother and a good wife. And I put conditions and conditions and conditions. So when I go on the market and I actually see a woman that actually fit those conditions, now I know what I want. I communicate that and we're good to go. If you don't have conditions at all and anything actually can actually...
Are you single?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Are you single?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we are the same. See?
I'm not looking for anything.
But that's the thing. You thought that you saying that I was single was going to prove something. When
No,
you are single too.
Did you take it that way? If you took it that way, I mean,
No. You know, I'm the mean one. You see what I'm saying? I'm the mean one. I'm just containing myself because I'm on Will show. Will told me to chill. I'm chilling, right? But again, it's not on a condescending way. It seems like you didn't. And I talk with this with Will, Paulo Feza. My problem with women in 2023 seems like they only start to actually introspect when they are on their late 30s. It seems like, for example, when a man has a relationship with a woman and he messes up, the man stays alone. He says, oh, I made this wrong. Let me actually work a little bit on myself so I can become better. The problem with women, it seems like I am this person. My relationship failed. I click on the reset, so I go to factory settings and I try exactly the same thing with the next one. I made the mistake. Let me reset again. Factory settings, and I'll try it again with the next. Like there's no introspection. There's no, this is where I made the mistake. This is where this person made the mistake. Let me actually learn from what happened and let me choose better in the next time. And let me prove this. Tell me one thing that you did wrong on your last relationship.
Okay, so to touch base on the whole thing that you just said, obviously you learn from it. That's why you stay single. That's why I'm single.
Yes. But tell me one thing that you did wrong on your unless a relationship that you did wrong. Okay, you did wrong, not the other person. You.
Let me see. There's a couple actually.
I trusted too much.
Let me think. Oh, low blows.
So you're this.
Yeah, low blows. So, you say certain stuff and you low blow them to hurt them just as much as they hurt you.
That's actually pretty good. Thank you very much. You know what I was expecting? I was expecting.
No, I'm an open book. Like I said, low blows.
Cheating.
No, actually, that never happened.
Wait, what?
Yeah, no, cheating never happened.
That was Yadi. Yadi said that.
No, cheating never happened. But if everybody has their own sensitive subject that they don't disclose to anybody. So when somebody uses that as ammunition to hurt you, shit is not the same.
They use that against you, or you used against another person?
No, I've used it against them. They've used it against me. It was just you hold resentment after time.
That's fair.
And
but that's what we're talking about. You actually learned something from your last relationship. Now you're verbalizing it because you're trying to push it out of you, right? But it sounded like you were not willing to act. No.
You're not asking any direct questions. I mean, you just asked me, what is one wrong thing or a couple wrong things that you did?
Yes.
Ask me directly, and I'm more than happy to answer that for you.
Yeah,
I've the things that I've done. I'm not saying I'm a saint. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I had my faults and imperfections in the relationship, and vice versa. Hence why I came up with the decision to just part ways.
Stay single.
For my health, their health, and yeah.
Was this recent or is it a lot of years?
It's been a couple months.
Couple of months.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's recent. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not going to.
Couple months, but I was with this person for 4 years.
Okay. I'm not over pursuing Will. I'll learn my lesson. Now it gets a little bit better. Because now she has a little bit. Seems like she got a little bit of standards.
No, you didn't ask. Ask me directly. Ask me directly, and I'm an open book. I'm more than happy to answer that.
I want a man that doesn't throw me under the bus and uses my secrets against myself. That's good for a start, a condition, right?
Yeah.
I guess. I'm saying.
Mina, just to be honest, it sounded like your relationship sounded toxic as hell.
Oh, 110%. 110%. It was definitely toxic. It definitely was. And like I said, that's how it played out. But
let me pass it to Yadi. Appreciate Mina and Fatty going back and forth. But Yadi, obviously you heard that back and forth, but I think the question that was brought up is from the panel from the sophisticated Dirk. Which gender has more conditions in a relationship, and what are your non-negotiable conditions that you expect out of a man if you are willing to go in a committed loyal relationship again?
I know for a fact women have a lot more conditions than men. Men are a lot more, not like this, not all of them, but majority of them are very relaxed on their conditions in the initial part, okay? Like when they're meeting. I think those conditions come a little bit later, getting to know the person and stuff like that. They see what they do like and what they don't like. And then what did you say?
What are your non-negotiable conditions that a man must have and continue to meet?
Okay, so he has to be a manly man. He needs to be the head of the house. So in that aspect, in order to be the man of the house, he, provider, caretaker, and respectable, right? Like somebody that's worth respecting and gives that respect, especially because I do have kids. I know every day is not peachy keen, but if we can just move past and still respect and, go together on the common goal, and then my other condition or requirement or want is respected. I want to feel loved, right? I think it takes effort on both parts to show each other love instead of just being complacent. Like, hey, I want to kiss before you leave, when you come home, throughout the day, not just, even if it becomes like a normal thing, that's what I like. What else? I think that's pretty much it. I covered all the bases, right? Like, that's it.
Thanks for sharing that, Yadi.
Mm-hmm.
Quick question for you, ladies. I think, Yadi, you've talked about before on the podcast about you do give the man some grace, right? Especially if you do go in a relationship with the man, obviously you're in a relationship, you're committed to him. But obviously the point of the discussion is, we all have needs, we all have expectations and conditions. And in order for the relationship to work, both parties must be, the conditions must be reciprocated and met. But I guess my question is, we're talking about that grace period. A lot of men, we do understand, especially the men who are aware about the realities of the expectations that are expected on us to perform as we go into a family and relationship. We know that we have to be strong provider, protectors, competent, take care of a woman, our family, emotionally connect with the woman because women, they want to feel loved. But obviously, if the man starts to underperform, how long do you usually give that man the grace before you start thinking that I may have to go somewhere else? Obviously, there is no such thing as unconditional love because every relationship you had in the past, you end up moving on to the next man. So, but obviously, there has to be a grace period where for yourself, hey, if you don't see any improvements from this man, or you're not getting your needs met, then what's the length of time you're willing to give this man before you start thinking, okay, this is not the best man for me, I have to go look somewhere else? I'll start with you, Mina.
Maybe, I mean,
Definitely, it's not 4 years, right?
a year or 2 years, depending how like deeply involved you are with the person. You know,
Okay,
like
so
from my own situation, like I think you can only repeat something so many times, and yeah. And when you say move on, like what do you mean by that? Like, do you mean like onto like another dude, another situation, or just like
no,
move?
well, when I say move on, I don't mean like physically moving on to the next thing. I'm thinking about, are you already planning? Are you already thinking, right? You know what? I may have to start looking somewhere else and start planning, right? There was a study. I saw it. If I can find the survey, I'll put it on the live chat. But there's a
6
survey I
months
read.
is the study, right? This says 6 months it
No,
takes a person.
no, there was a survey that they asked women that when women decide to leave a relationship, I think what they said on that survey that they're already checked out like 8 months before or something like that. So they already left the relationship mentally and emotionally, but they were still with the guy. But they physically left it was 8 months later. So what I'm saying is at that time when you start thinking, oh, okay, when I may have to start looking somewhere else, and then you have to start making those moves, even though you are still in a relationship with them. Like, how long is that grace period?
I think roughly like it takes maybe 8-10 months. It really just depends on the type of female. When you check out mentally before your body follows behind. It also depends on the male and how persistent they are, or how many times they come back, what they say. It really just, but normally, at least me personally, and from girlfriends that I have,
8 to 10 months.
yeah, roughly mentally checked out. And between that, like the type of crap that the dude has put the person through.
Okay, so after 8 to 10 months, that if your man's not improving, he starts falling short, he's underperforming, you give him an 10 month grace period, and then 8-10 months you don't see any changes, then you start making the plans to look somewhere else, right?
Well, maybe not jump into a relationship, but like check out, yeah.
Yeah, check out. Okay. All right. Thank you for sharing that, Mina. And also, I'll pass it to you, Yadi. Like, what's your grace period?
I honestly don't think there's like a time frame, because every relationship and every situation is different, right? And so again, I'll say the example of like physical abuse and assault, right? Like,
well, let's exclude that. Obviously,
okay,
when that happens, yeah, you gotta leave.
right.
You know?
Well, and sometimes you can't go right away, right? Like because of the fear and blah blah blah. So that's what I'm saying. I don't really think there's a time frame. I think the no go is, for me, I think it would be more like when they're not making any effort whatsoever. Like there's no, when that person just gave up already or quit, and it's become a toxic situation and there's kids involved, right? Like you got to think about your kids in that aspect. If it's that bad, but other than that, even your non-negotiables, right? When you're in a committed relationship or when there's kids involved, just like the generations prior, like they never really divorced, right? Like that wasn't an option. And I think people need to get back into that mindset that as long as you're not getting physically abused or your kids are not in any danger, you're not in any danger, that everything else you can probably work through, as horrible as that sounds and as pain. It's our egos, right? Like our egos get the best of us and it's like, oh, I'm not dealing with this anymore, because it's not easy. But being in a relationship is not easy, same thing as being single. So I don't know if there's like a specific time frame.
What's the longest grace period have you given a man in your past, and what's the shortest grace period have you
The
given?
longest grace period I gave a man was 8 years.
Oh,
And yeah, and it just was not going to benefit my kids in any way. So I just moved on. And the shortest grace period that I gave somebody was about 7 months.
7 months.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys believe that the more relationships you go experience and it doesn't, and if more relationships fail, your grace period decreases and you have no toleration no more for bullshit anymore? So
I used to think that. I used to think that because I would not put up with any kind of bullshit whatsoever, right? But this relationship that I'm in right now, I have given a lot of grace and understanding, and I've grown and he's grown, and it continues. So I think as we get older, we just see things a little bit different, or our bullshit meter changes to where we're not so maybe egotistical, you know?
Woman intuition, that doesn't work.
Go ahead, Fatty. It's all you, man.
Because you guys speak wrong all the time. So, it's kind. When a woman say, "I want a good communicator," it sounds to me, "I want a mind reader." Because this is the type of situations actually that show that women, unfortunately, for most part, they are not good communicators. They will check out of a relationship 7 months, 8 months, whatever, right? They will that relationship is over on their head before it's over, actually, and they will stay 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. That's literally the opposite of good communication. If I have a problem with you about something that you say, I'm going to actually tell you to change. And if you don't change, you are gone. That's good communication. That's good communication on your work. If Men and Yadi were supervisors, they would come to Fatty and say, Fatty, you are doing this wrong. You need to do this right. If you don't do this right, you don't have a job. I won't get a 9-period month. I won't get a 12-period month. Either I do it, and if I don't do it, I'm out. Women can be very, very practical on school, with their job, everything except relationships with men. All of that practicality, all of that, this is what I need, and if you don't do it, it becomes complicated. Or it depends on how many times he comes back. He only comes back if you let him come back. That's the reality. And we know feelings are involved. One day we don't like them, one day we love them. But it's just a bunch of confusion, unfortunately. I wish my mom, just for you guys to understand, it's not personal. My mom is a terrible communicator. She's 68. She will never be a good communicator in her life. My sister is 40. She's a bad communicator because one day she wants one thing, the other day she wants another one. Right? I believe that my daughter will be a bad communicator too, because unfortunately, women are very competent in a lot of things, but when it comes to men, it seems like their emotions and the way that they view men, you should know you did wrong. You actually should correct yourself. I'm going to stay here 7 months, 8 months, 9 months, even though I don't like you anymore and I want to leave. That's the most mind-boggling thing that you can say to a man, because I truly don't believe that woman. I'm not even going to say that. I'm going to leave it at that. You guys got it. You guys got it.
So, Mina, so Fatty made a point that you often hear a lot of women say that you want men to communicate and be effective communicators, but then at the same sentence, a lot of women would be in a relationship and be mentally checked out for months before she actually has the courage to finally leave the relationship. So, like, what's your response to that? Because that's what Fatty said, and that's what a lot of men are saying. If you were checked out, why didn't you communicate to the man that you are checking out the relationship and still stay with him for months or years and let this man pay your bills and provide and protect you? even though you know for sure that you're leaving, he doesn't know at all. What's your response to that, Mina?
Who said that there was no communication?
You said you're mentally checked out. If you said that you're out of the relationship and you didn't,
Hold on, pause. Wait a second, Fatty. Wait
you
a
said
second.
it.
Oh,
Okay.
pause. Wait a second. He said, Mena, roughly how long does it take a woman due to a study that he read? Nowhere did I say me. Nowhere.
You said your own girl. So your own girl. You said
Homegirl means friends, right? Okay. So nowhere did I say that. 1, 2. Back to his question.
You said that about your friends.
His question was this: what is my response to a woman not communicating?
Yes.
I can't speak on other women. I don't know what the situation is. Hold on.
You spoke on your Mina. You spoke on your friends.
Fatty.
You
Wait
said
a second.
my. I apologize.
Fatty. He said based on a study that he read. And I said, oh, that study that you mentioned, 6 months, 8 months. So it's a study. It was not based on me or him. It was a study done by who knows who. Okay. So back to what I was saying. He asked, why don't a girl communicate when they're mentally checked out? Yay or nay? Okay. So with that being said, I don't know why they don't. Me personally, I did communicate. I expressed my feelings. I expressed what was going on. And like Yadi said, I stayed. I gave grace a lot longer than I should have. I did communicate. And when you do care, depending on the situation of whoever, if feelings are involved, you're going to, stay. That's just what it is. Depending on the situation, you're gonna stay. That's just, I don't know why the brain works that way, but it does. It does. And I stayed. I personally stayed. And I was
after you were checked out, right?
I was. Hold on. Wait a second. So I expressed to that person, my ex. I was like, checked out. This is what the problem is. He heard me. He repeated what I said. And he did good for a couple months, and then it happened again. And that's what happens. That's the cycle that women go through, literally, and probably even men too.
That's fair. That's more fair.
No, of course it's fair, Fatty.
That's more fair. I'll give you that. I'll give you that too. You got the point there.
That is the cycle, and I don't know why the brain works that way. Like I said, dopamine, your heart, all that conjunction together, it can be a catastrophe or it can be the best thing you've ever had. But I personally communicated and I stayed and he stayed. But unfortunately, like it went back. He did good for a couple months and then back to square one and then again. And it was a revolving door. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only. Hold on. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only female that's experienced this at some point in their lifetime. And I'm pretty sure other males have experienced this too. And I feel like that does mess with you. It messes with your head and messes with your heart and makes your heart of like, you just become tighter. You build more walls and then it's a domino effect. Honestly, it's a domino effect.
So it was not about communication, was about actions, right?
Yeah.
So what they were not emotional available means?
So emotionally available is due to the fact that at least in this situation, stuff that they had going on that they did not deal with, that I'm pretty sure if they would have gone to therapy or if they would have addressed it sooner, maybe it could have guided that person in the right direction, give them some insight. But there's only so much you can do as a girlfriend, as a wife, or vice versa, as a husband or as a boyfriend, to somebody that, has certain stuff going on that they just can't express, don't know how to express. You know, there's some personalities that are avoidance styles because of certain childhood stuff that they've gone through. There's people that are anxiously styled when it comes to, you know, being with their person and stuff like that. So due to those reasons is why I had to put a stop to it, because it wasn't going to get any better. And at the end of the day, you can drag a horse to water, but if they don't want to drink, you can't force them. Period.
Okay. All right. Thank you for sharing that, Mina. Let me pass it to Yadi. Yadi, what's your response to what Patty said about if women are checked out months or years before they actually separate with their or leave their boyfriend or husband? How come there's no communication during that time?
I always do believe there's communication. The problem is when most people tend to communicate is when they're arguing or when they're fighting. And so, of course, a lot of stuff doesn't get received, right? Because of the tone that it's coming through or the situation. But I do believe both. You just have to be paying attention, and a lot of people don't. You're just, most people, even in relationships, they're just so self-consumed on them, what they feel, how they see things, and instead of putting themselves in their partner's shoes, okay, where am I lacking? Or what does my partner need? How can I reach them? Or how does my partner need to be loved or heard or seen? And we're always so at the defensive as well, right? Like when they do communicate and we take it as a personal attack instead of trying to listen and receive and make it work and change certain things. I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, that's the way I am and I'm not going to change, you know? Again, the ego. So I do believe there's communication, and then the communication does stop, right? Because one or both parties are not doing the other step, listening, receiving, and trying to make it better, right? Trying to make it work instead of just checking out or not putting in the effort. So I think that's why they end up checking out, but I do 100% believe people communicate, even in the stuff they don't say, right? Or in the stuff that they don't do, or in the ways they don't show up. That's communicating.
All right, no worries. Thank you for sharing that, Yadi. Now, as always, thank you so much, everybody in the live chat. Get the live chat popping. Appreciate you guys. Don't forget, this is a public show, so if you guys want to jump on, obviously there's a lot of people out there agree or disagree on the live chat. I challenge you guys to come on and be part of the panel, be part of the live chat. So if you have confidence to stand by what you believe and what you say, especially for the fellas, I challenge you to come on and be part of and be able to communicate that to the ladies. I want to ask you, ladies, I have a unpopular opinion. I think Jaddy might disagree with me with this, but if I ask a question for Mina and Yadi real quick, who do you think is responsible for the communication? Both parties, the man or the woman? Mina.
Who is responsible?
Who do you think is the one that's responsible to make sure that the boundaries and the communication in a relationship is kept to a good quality level? The man or the woman or both?
Both.
Both? Okay. Mina says both. What about you, Yadi?
I say both as well, because you're both in the relationship, right? And so you both should be trying to make things work.
Yeah. Okay. So both. Okay. I believe in my opinion, I believe if men are wanting to become the leaders in the family, most women want a leader. And there are men out there that say, if I want to be in a relationship, I prefer to be the leader. I believe that if the man is the one being the leader in the relationship. And of course, we all heard that women control access to sex, men control access to relationships. We're the one that choose the woman to marry and commit to. So if we as men have that responsibility of that relationship, I think that majority of that responsibility should fall on the man to make sure that he maintains the boundaries in the communication level, and to be aware if his woman's not getting what he wants, it's his responsibility to notice any changes, whether it's her body, her behavior, her mood, whatever it is, to make sure that the communication level is to a high standard, so that way the relationship is running well. I think when men are, if we are not attentive to those things, and obviously we all understand that women can be emotional. That's why I don't really put the responsibility on the women to communicate, because you guys know how women are. You guys know, you guys go through your time with them. Your feelings are all over the place, right? So that's why I put more of the responsibility on the men, because we're more logical, more rational. That even we are the order, the chaos and order. Women, the chaos. We're the order in the relationship, stability in the relationship. So when the woman's going through some things, and when everything's chaotic, we're the ones that have to come in and communicate and be able to create that stability in the relationship. I do believe the communication part, especially if the man is a leader and you're the one responsible and setting the boundaries and the foundation of the relationship. I think we're built for that. I think we shouldn't put that more on the women, because sometimes you guys just go off on your emotions. Sometimes it doesn't make sense. So we have to make sense of something that doesn't make sense. But that's just women in general. And that's just how we operate as men. But I do believe that the communication part for a lot of men, because we do choose the woman. So I guess I do hear from a lot of guys, the woman is unreceptive. The woman doesn't listen to what I say, or is not adhering, or is not being cooperative. Then my challenge to that for those fellas is like, well, you chose that woman. You chose that woman. You married that woman. You committed to that woman. That had qualities that's not good for communication, or that's not good to listen to your boundaries. So that's my standpoint. I would like to hear what Fatty has to say. I do understand it goes from both ways, men and women, from a human level. But if you understand the different biologies, like biologically how we're built and how we interpret, how we respond based on our emotions, I think we're more equipped for that, for men, to be able to communicate, especially when things get chaotic in a relationship, especially when you have disagreements, especially when you have arguments, the emotions are high, emotions, like there's so much chaos happening in a relationship, or when you guys go into the struggle, or circumstance or whatever. I think as a man is being rational and being in control of your emotions, as a man, be disciplined. You have to make calculated decisions and bring some stability and communicate to bring it down. But I don't think women are really good at that. I think we have that luxury, we have that natural ability. So that's why I lean more for the men to be the one responsible for the communication, especially when things don't go well, especially when you guys are having those arguments and emotions. Because if you're both chaotic, if nobody has self-control of themselves, then you guys are just fighting, yelling at each other. And then Mina, you provided an example about low blows, right? So usually when you get to a point where you're just low blowing each other, I think that's when nobody had stepped in to control that situation, because he's got to a boiling point, to the point where you guys just hate each other so much, and now you guys are resorting to literally emotionally hurting each other. I think when you have that situation, the man should step in. Okay, let's bring it down. Okay, let's take a 5-minute break. Let's cool down a little bit, and maybe we'll come back in an hour, and then we'll talk, and then let's just make sure that. I think that's where the man comes in. I think we have that ability, okay, to control the situation. But Yadi, I see you wanted to say something. Go ahead.
So I agree with you, right, in that aspect. I will also say that a lot of men, because they're not good at showing their emotions, sometimes they don't know how to say what they really need to say, right? Even leaders, right? They're used to dealing with men and with other aspects, and they don't know how to watch certain words, or they think they have to tiptoe around certain females, which a lot of them do, you know. So because they don't tend, or sometimes maybe they're healing, I don't know what it is, but what I've noticed is they're the ones that usually start going for the low blows or communicating in a very harsh, attacking manner instead of trying to solve, like get to the bottom of the problem and then work through it. I think they're the ones that tend to start attacking. I know a lot of women do it too, but as the leader, it hurts the relationship whenever that's how they begin. Does that make sense? I'm the type of person that, and I get called a child for this, that I'm like, I don't want to talk right now. You know, like, let's just give me some space. I don't have anything nice to say right now. I just need some time. But maybe they want the confrontation to release the steam. I don't know, you know, but I think hurt people hurt others, and even, you know, so I just
Do you set a timetable? Like, I can talk. I don't want to talk right now. I'm going to say something I regret. Let's talk tomorrow at such and such and such. Do you do that?
I do. I honestly, I'm like, I don't have anything nice to say right now. I just need to be quiet for a little bit, you know, or please leave me alone for a moment. I'm super nice. I'm like, please leave me alone for just a moment, and we can talk about this in a moment, or, you know, I don't think we're going to agree on this subject.
No. You miss. I got that part. I'm talking about the second part, right?
Mm-hmm.
Communication, for example, right? Imagine that you are very anxious or you are mad about something, and I say, I don't want to talk about this right now. I am acknowledging my own emotions. I'm not acknowledging yours. A way of me acknowledging your emotion is, I don't want to talk right now because I don't want to say nothing that I will regret. We will talk tomorrow at 3 p.m. That actually puts a time on your head. So now you can relax. You know where the conversation is going. So we now are both, I'm acknowledging your feelings and I'm acknowledging mine. The problem with a lot of people that say, I don't want to talk right now, is that they leave it at that, and now the other person is literally frustrated. They are mad because you didn't set a time and you didn't acknowledge their feelings, right? Why don't you want to follow it right now? Because I want it right now. So this is why I think a lot of people, and including myself, I did this too. We think you are we thinking that saying I don't want to talk right now is actually solving a problem. On your head, it is. For the other person, now she's on the limbo. She doesn't know when actually you're going to tackle, or even if you actually are going to acknowledge it. Because a lot of people do say, I don't want to talk right now, and then they go to bed and they are not communicating. They're just giving you physical signals that they kind of are okay. So you have to guess if it is or not. They don't tackle the issue per se. So that is like half of the conflict resolution strategy. The second part is the part that most people unfortunately never disclose. Not right now, later after the dinner, so we can have a conversation. That part usually people don't do it, and that's the part of empathy. The part of, I know my feelings, you know yours. I will let you express your feelings later after dinner.
Yeah, and also I don't think it's healthy to wait to the next day. I think problems should be dealt with at that time. Don't let it linger on to the next day. I think if you have a problem today, if you need some time, maybe like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. For me, it's a general rule that whatever it's a relationship or just my friends, if we are having our heated argument and we're starting to notice we're both emotionally uncontrollable, we'll stop right there. Like, hey, we need to take a break, and then calm down a little bit so we can figure out a solution. Because ultimately, what's the point? If you're having an argument, the ultimate goal is to figure out a solution.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when you go into a relationship with your partner, I think as a man, you have to communicate to your woman before you go into a relationship. Hey, this is how we're going to handle every single disagreement. Because we're going to have fights, we're going to have disagreements, but this is our boundaries. We never attack each other. We're never going to low blow each other. Okay. So if we have an argument, We have to make sure that we're not in an emotional state that we're going to hurt each other. If we have to calm down a little bit, we can take some time. We have to fix it that day. We're not going to go to sleep hating each other, right? And go back to the same bed. That's not going to happen. Like if I'm going to go to bed with you, we're going to be happy and we're going to be good. Right? And,
why fix it that day, Will? I'm actually curious about that. Don't you think that a lot of people don't have the answers to actually solve it on the same day? Sometimes we just need a little bit of like we need one day to chill, because women are emotional, and men are, if they actually get upset, they get on their feelings too. Like a 15 minutes, 30 minutes, don't you think? Both of cases or one of the sides is going to be drunk on emotion and is not actually going to be able to process whatever you have to say. I think you need to be very mature. Like I can fight you and then go drink a beer with you, probably, right? I don't think most people are like that.
That's why for me it's important to, before I commit to you, we're gonna talk about this. Look, when we have issues and arguments, what's our ultimate goal from both of us is to solve it, right? We don't want this argument to linger on to the next day. I don't want to have it. I don't want to. Tomorrow's problems are tomorrow's problems. I don't want to worry about tomorrow's problem and today's problems is going to add on for tomorrow's problem. It's just going to be very stressful. So I'd rather deal with it right now. But I'm going to communicate that with her. Look, when we have issues, we have to solve it, because I don't want to be in the same room with you and we both look at each other and hate. So we have to solve it. If it takes us 10 minutes, do we need to maybe take a walk and come back? But I think from the long term, I think it's better to solve it today and let the past be the past, and then we can focus on tomorrow. So we wake up tomorrow, it's a new day, new opportunity. We don't have anything going on, and we can just move on. But I think it's important to communicate that with her, so you guys have both the same mindset. But if you're looking for a solution, but the other person is not looking for a solution, when it comes to solving, they just want to, they just want to yell, they don't know how to communicate. I think that's when you have that problem. But I think it's important you find somebody that has the same boundary and understanding of what you're looking to solve, especially when you're arguing. Go ahead, Yadi.
So I have something to say on that. Like,
you are wrong.
No, not at all. Like,
I'm joking.
Whenever I ask for time, it's because obviously my feelings are crazy, right? And so I'm taking that time. I'm not going to do it all night or anything like that. Like, I want to come to a solution, right? And I don't always wait for there to be a problem. I check in and I'm like, hey, is there anything you think I'm lacking or not doing for you? Or like, are you feeling loved or, respected or whatever it is, right? Like, why wait until there's an issue? Communicating wise. And I don't think men, even leaders, they don't, once there's a problem is whenever they're like, okay, let's communicate, right? But I try to avoid the problems or, to make sure he feels heard or loved or respected or whatever, like, hey, I'll check in. But whenever I ask for time, it's because I know I'm trying to get my emotions in check, get to the base of my feeling on why I felt triggered, and then try to understand his point too, So it's not just emotional that some people need space. Some people do need to ask for that time because they're trying to avoid the whole situation. But I think after you've been with somebody for a while, you should give them that grace if they ask for it. Like, hey, give me that moment, and give them that moment instead of trying to just fight and figure it out at that time because that's what they want,
I think it also, if you sweep things under the rug like that, it builds resentment too. And like you said, also, I think it's just knowing your person and the type of attachment style that they have. Some people are avoidant, some people are anxious. So that whole time frame of getting it either solved that day or just giving a time frame. I'm a big believer, don't go to bed mad with each other because you might not wake up the next day. And you don't want to deal, life is already crazy. You don't want to deal with problems from the day prior. The following day just drags out your day. So I think it's just important to understand the person that you're with, attachment style, and that boundary of, for example, me, give me a time frame. If you don't want to talk right now, that's totally fine. I respect it. We'll talk in 15 minutes, or we'll talk in 20, or
That's
you know what, I'm really heated. I'm like really heated. Give me a day. I still love you. I still care about you. I'm not leaving you. I just need some time. And I feel like that's where some people, men and women, struggle, where like you just don't know your person.
So, Will, this is why I actually agree with both of them. I call it the recovery time. I know, dealing with my friends and people that I do podcasts, if we get into it, the recovery time for this person is 30 minutes. In 30 minutes, he'll be okay and ready to talk. The other person is on the fly. We're on the phone, we talk for a while, and and now I get it. I have friends that is 2 days, I have friends that is 1 week. Like, he actually depends from person to person. The recovery time is like a car. When you go around with the car, it's going to become hot, and at some point of time you need to turn off the car for a while. Some cars are going to actually cool down faster, others not. That's exactly how it is with a person, man and woman. A lot of egos is involved, pride is involved, emotions are involved. So when you actually want to solve it on the next 15 minutes, if the recovery time of that person is 2 hours, you are just actually putting fuel to the fire, because that person is not actually prepared to listen to what you want to hear. You can be the best communicator, you can be the love of their life. There are people, and most people are, that the fact that you give them clear instructions, you hurt me because you did this and this and this, but yesterday you da, 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 and last week you let, like, it's going to happen if you don't let them cool off. So I get what you're saying. I think that is with very mature people that have very quick recovery times, where they can on the fly actually self-reflect and actually have a conversation. Most women are not like that at all, and unfortunately you have to wait for a little bit to actually get to the bottom of it. Even if he's go to the fridge, my dad, he goes to the fridge, he puts the what's a magnet. We'll talk tomorrow. And it seems like that kind of works, because now my mom has time to go in the shower and says, I'm going to tell him this and I'm going to tell him this. And when she gets there, she's actually ready to talk and to resolve things, because she actually had time to process that.
No, I agree with you, Fatty. When I say solve it, I mean that day. So it doesn't. So we can do it that moment, or 15 minutes, or 2 hours, or 3 hours. But my general rule is we have to solve it within that day. We're not gonna let that linger on to the next day and cause more issues tomorrow. We have to solve it today, and then whatever we have to do to make that happen, then we move on tomorrow. And because I don't want to go, obviously we have to go back to sleep with each other. I'm not gonna go to sleep with the bed and then we have issues and then we have problems. I don't think that's a healthy habit to have. Every time you're gonna have issues, is either you're gonna both go to bed, you don't like each other, or eventually you start seeing this with couples, they start sleeping in different rooms, right? I think I think it's healthy for you guys, no matter what happens on that day. At the end of the day, we're a unit, we're a team. So as teams, we're gonna go through our ups and downs. Let's solve it, but at the end of the day, we're still a unit. So we're gonna figure out how to solve that issue. But then when the day's done, we're gonna go back and we're gonna sleep together and we're gonna love each other and wake up the next day a brand new day. But I think if you create a habit of, okay, every time we have a problem, okay, if you're gonna cool off, oh, we know we wait till tomorrow. Then what happens when tomorrow comes? You're gonna repeat the same thing. Okay, next day, next day, next day. So it's keep lingering on. So I agree. 5 minutes, 15, 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, maybe. Okay, if you argued in the morning, okay, let's go to work and we'll come back after work, and then at the end of the night we'll figure this out. We'll sit down. Or maybe you just ask, are you hungry? Maybe you need some food. Maybe some girl just needs some food or something. And then
That's problematic. You're going to get the, I'm going to turn the S to your side, and then I'm going to cover my head, and you say, oh, we are this. No.
Maybe it's sexual frustrated. Like,
I don't know.
That may be the reason. If you know your woman, you know how to.
That's what I would say. That's what I used to tell them. I'm like, you know how you can solve this.
Thank you.
If you truly know your woman, you know what she needs, whether it's food, whether it's sex. All right. Sometimes I'll just tell them, hey, do you want to argue or do you just want to vent? Because if you don't mind, go ahead. I'll sit here and I'll listen. When you're done, then let's keep it going. Let's keep it moving. Sometimes women just want to vent. They don't really want to argue. So that's why it comes down to you to understand like your person and communicating and understanding women in general. But it's different. It's a different speed to navigate a woman's emotions. But understand it and you understand it's different. But if it's
Yes, of
really is
course,
a
yeah.
problem, if it really is a problem, then I would want to solve it that day so we create healthy habits. We're still a team, we're still a unit, we still love each other. Let's solve the issue, get to the bottom of it, and then go back to bed, have some makeup sex, and move on to the next morning.
Jesus, Jesus Christ.
Thank you for jumping on. Thank you for jumping on as a public guest. What do you want to add on?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's like, um, I think what we do need to acknowledge is women are beautiful. I mean, and they know they are, like, and they make an effort to make us understand that they are beautiful.
All women are beautiful.
Well, I mean, we have two ladies on the platform, and they're quite beautiful. I'd say that.
Yeah, they are. I'm talking about all women are beautiful. All
Yeah,
women.
I get where you're coming from, bro. I see where you're coming from. I'm just saying, like, we
Mhm.
got to appreciate what we have. Do you get what I'm saying? So
That was my
we can
question.
we can only talk within our proximity. Do you get what I mean?
So you don't know ugly woman? Never saw an ugly woman in your life?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is
But
when
can you
it comes to
confirm?
that,
Huh?
yo, just yeah, okay, you ask a question, just let me answer, okay? When it comes
Yes.
to that, it depends. Like, there's many brothers out here
Mhm.
that they need to deal with ugly women, and like me
Oh,
personally,
there's ugly woman. Oh, okay.
yeah, of
I,
course. Like,
I
listen,
just wanted to make sure that you are not contradicting yourself and you are lying and pandering. So there's ugly woman, right? Thank you
yeah,
very
I
much.
mean, there's
And so you are
ugly
lying,
women,
right, Simon?
there's ugly
Right?
women, and there are ugly men. Okay,
Oh, really? Really,
yeah,
Simon?
that's what
Is
you
that what?
said.
Oh
That's what
my
you said.
God! Are
That's what
you
you said. I didn't
you
say that
you
shit.
you are my
Right?
neighbor, right? You are on the UK. You are Sherlock Holmes, right? You found out there's the ugly woman and ugly man. Congratulations, Simon. You got it.
Yeah, and
What's your zodiac?
say that again,
I
bro. No,
am
I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to the lady up there.
diabetic. Go
What
ahead,
she
Simon.
say?
You got this.
What she say?
I want to know what fatty zodiac is.
I'm Cancer, I guess.
Are you talking to Fatty? Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
fatty.
All women are
You see how the
beautiful.
ladies want to know how your zodiac sign look like?
Yeah, Simon. We have a
Why?
show
Why do you think
tonight.
they? Why do you think they want to do that?
I have no idea.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, cool. Um, this is the thing. Like, when you deal with women, it's a different thing. I'm not saying like you know or you don't know. I'm just saying like women are beautiful things. They're creatures. They are
Mhm.
like, that's why men lead towards them. Men lead towards women. Like, you can't say anything or other. Like, we can try to put up this bullshit narrative about how like women are supposed to be this and women are supposed to be that. But at the end of the day, what? What what's the alternative, right?
Men are not supposed to be alcoholics, Simon. So this is something that unfortunately we need to actually figure out. Were you listening to the show, Simon? Do you know the
No,
topic of the
I'm
show?
just rich. That's different. Like,
You kind
people
of
try.
not.
No, people try to turn around. You're trying to turn around and say,
Can you
yo,
prove it and send $100 to Will right
I,
now on the
I've
Cash App, on the
I've
Super
done,
Chat?
yo, bro. At the end of the day, the only time I
Prove it.
come on
No, prove
YouTube,
it.
the
Prove it
only
that you are
time,
rich.
yo,
Send
bro,
$100 right now. It's 6 a.m. on our countries.
I
Let's
don't
go
kind
to the Cash App. Let's go to the Super Chat
I
right
don't
now
pander
and
to your
send
bullshit.
$100 to
I
Will.
don't pander to your
Proving.
bullshit.
Mm.
The only time I get on YouTube
So
is
you have no money, right?
when the only time I get on YouTube
Brokey.
is at night.
Brokey.
That's a fact.
Send $50.
That's a fact.
I'm
You know
lowering
that's
the
a fact.
bar.
That's a fact.
$50.
I work. I wake up in the morning.
Mm.
I drop my daughter off to school and I go
Mm.
to work.
But you are
The
rich. Why
only
are you
time
working?
the only time I get on YouTube is at night. Okay.
So let's $50 for Will Nacouzi. Let's
I don't play your
support the
game.
Kava Club.
I don't play that game. If I want to
wait, you don't play the
I'll
money?
give you some money. Why am I gonna give you some money, bro? Why are you asking me for money?
No, it's not to me. I'm not the owner of the show. I'm just show some support. You are rich.
Wait, what are you talking about, bro? You asking
I'm talking
me
about
for
your
money.
bank account. You said I am rich.
Why are you asking me for money, bro?
Because you are rich. You
You're
said
a
it.
man. You're a man. You should be.
No, it's not for. It's not for me.
Yeah, but you do it all day long in your platform, right? You're
Absolutely. I made $370 today.
And good day to you, sir.
So can you give $50 to Will, please? Let's support the show. Since you said that you are rich.
Yo, if Will wants to email me, I'll send him more than that.
Oh, hey, Will.
I don't do all that upfront business. I don't do that.
Okay.
I don't do that.
Will, leave your PayPal on the back, please, so we send you the $3 he has on his bank account.
Oh, Fatty, you know how I roll, man. Come on, stop.
I actually don't. I never saw you super chat nobody, Simon.
Really?
Ever.
Really?
$3, $5, $2.
Do you know?
No. Let the host wants to talk, Simon. Let the host.
Okay, I can tell you about certain people, but
let the host decide what he wants to ask you, Simon.
You know about Gale at Night?
So Simon, thank you for jumping on as a public guest. If you do find value in it, then it's up to you. If you want to super chat or not, it's up to you. But
I'll do it in the background.
In the PayPal.
But why did you jump on as a public guest? Like, what did you want to bring to the conversation specifically?
Your conversation. So your conversation was, can a woman truly love a man, right?
Yeah.
Unconditionally.
Unconditionally.
Yeah. And I would say yes, totally.
And why? And
how?
Because I've been in that situation.
How, Simon?
Because my ex-wife was that person.
But is it ex? You're no longer with her?
Did she leave you? Who left?
Why do you have to jump in so quick?
Because I know who left. I know the story. And
so who left? All right, who left?
And he literally goes against the unconditional love. Means that he's not conditional. Because if he wasn't, you left.
All right, so tell me who left.
No, Simon, you tell us. You have a mouth. Go ahead.
Me and Faye are on the same page because we come from Europe and we have a different perspective on things. And this is the thing about me and Faye.
Kind of come from Europe.
This is the thing. We could play about and go back and forth. Okay, cool. Well, you tell me who left. Who left? Tell me, bro. If you're paying so much attention, who left?
Tell me. No, you
who
tell
left,
me,
bro?
Simon, you're not going to play this game, Simon. Tell them who left.
So, Simon, just tell your story. So
tell your story, Simon. Who left?
Right. Who left in what? So we had in terms of what? In terms of divorce?
Who decided to end the relationship?
Who brought it up first?
Yes.
Right. So no one brought it up first, but I'll say I divorced.
Wait,
her.
What? It was telepathy, like you read each other's minds. Somebody has to say first. I went out.
I divorced her.
You divorced her?
You brought it up first.
And did she accept it or she fight to keep you, Simon?
She's still in my life, bro.
No, you said that you was mutual, right? So it means that she wanted out too, right?
No, that's not what you're getting about life. And this is the thing, Fatty. Sometimes you know, like when you're having your conversations and all the rest of it, you don't understand real relationships, right?
No, absolutely not.
Real relationships don't work like that. You can get divorced and you can still be cool.
You still love her?
Yeah.
Does she love you?
Yeah.
So why are you guys not together?
So why is that an anomaly to you?
If you love her, why do you go on Kendra G like you did a few days ago trying to get a new woman?
Because I'm single, motherfucker. What's wrong with you? What's that?
So
that's stupid.
Doesn't that actually prove the point? If you went on Kendra G to get woman, like Simon, I don't know if you guys know, Simon last week went on Kendra G to get a new woman, right?
Yeah, and I've got chicks in my back chat, in my emails, sending me pictures. They be sending me some pictures, man. I don't even know why.
Does your ex-wife know about that?
Yeah.
Simon.
Yes, she knows about it.
Simon.
She knows about it.
Is she jealous?
No,
So
because
she
she's
doesn't like you.
divorced.
So she doesn't like you anymore.
You don't understand the dynamic of relationships. This is the
She
thing.
doesn't like you anymore.
No, people don't get that shit. People are so entrenched in their emotions.
Do you still
right?
sleep with her, Simon?
Listen, bro, I'm just saying to you. Like,
Yes.
people are entrenched in their emotions.
Yes. Do you still sleep with her regularly?
No, why am I gonna do that? You crazy?
So she's not loving you anymore. She loves another guy.
Life is not about sex, bro. Stop.
It's
This
about
is the
what?
thing. So is life about sex for you?
No, you love her. You love her. She loves
No,
you.
but you're
You guys are not
confusing.
fucking. So something
You're
is wrong.
confusing. You're confusing two things. You're confusing two things. You're confusing two things. So what you're saying is love is sex. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying that if you love her,
Now,
and
when you start talking like that, that's when these
You
niggas
asked me
come
a
up on
question.
these
You asked me a question.
Bro, I'm just
Where is
saying, as a brother, okay, I respect you, okay?
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
When you start talking about love and sex and confusing that, niggas will come up on you and start telling you certain things about yourself because love and sex are not the same thing. It's not the same thing.
So Simon,
let's let these ladies talk about it because they damn well know. I can see on their faces they know what I'm talking about. Love and sex.
I'm not sure about that, Simon.
Let me
love and sex is not the same thing.
Let me ask the ladies real quick. Simon made a point that he was in a previous marriage and you guys left and you divorced her. I want to ask the ladies, so if you were in a previous relationship and you divorce somebody, you move on, can you still have the same type of love with that person that you had in the beginning of the relationship, but now you guys are now separated?
No,
exactly. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Well, yeah, but that proves the point that you can't love somebody unconditionally, because if the love changed, that means
no, it's not that, and that's what most men don't understand or appreciate from a female perspective. The thing is like what men don't get is they will never understand how a female understands about a relationship. That's the fact. And that's why we have these conversations ongoing on these platforms every freaking day and every day of the damn freaking night. They don't freaking understand what a female goes through.
If you understand, Simon, why couldn't you keep your woman?
That's a good question, Fatty.
Right, because you left, right? You understand. Why did you left your woman if you understand? If you have all that game and all the
You know
rest?
what? The funny thing is the question you posed is why did I lose her, right? That's what you said, right?
No, you didn't lose her. You said you left. Now you lost her. Did you tell the truth? Was that a Freudian slip?
That's what you said. So you
No. Because all of a sudden I never said you lost her. I'm saying why couldn't you keep her? If you know everything, right?
Why do you think I wanted to keep her?
You say you love her. If you split, means that you couldn't keep her. Why?
Fatty, you're more intelligent.
She didn't follow your rules.
Yo, bro, you're more intelligent than this, right?
You were drinking too much. What happened, Simon? I'm going to mute myself, guys. I'm going to mute myself. Simon, tell us what happened. I'm going to mute myself.
All right, bro. Like I know Fatty's. I appreciate Fatty. Okay. Right, so I ain't gonna go on a whole diss on thing like that. You get what I'm saying? Like, I love him, I do, because he does everything. Like, and he's been part of the whole. We gotta look at this from another perspective. But I'm just saying, you can't speak to somebody like that in terms of going around and saying, "Yo," you get what I'm saying? He did this. Nah. What happened is, women go through stuff. Let's be real. Like, you don't have a fucking cycle, bro. You don't fucking know what that looks like. You're a man. All you gotta do with is your penis, bro.
Your honor.
Like, wait, stop for a second,
Didn't
bro.
she have the cycle when you met her?
No, wait. You
she started having cycles when you went to divorce her?
listen. All you look at is the pretty stuff.
No, I ask you a question, Simon. Why
And
did you keep
women know this shit. Women play you on this shit. Women go to
Your
the
Honor, Will?
they go to the
The witness is not addressing my question.
yo, bro, they go to the hairstylist.
I'm not talking in general, Simon. I'm talking
they
about
get their
you,
shit together and they trick
Simon.
you because
I'm not
you're
talking
dumb
in
as a
general,
motherfucker.
Simon.
And
I'm
this
talking
is the
about
thing.
you.
It's
Why
like you're
could you
dumb
keep
as a
your
motherfucker.
wife that you love?
Yo, why do you think men, right?
Simon, I'm asking.
Wait. I'll ask you something.
I don't want you to talk about general men and women. I want to talk
Men,
about you. If you
as a
can't answer,
population,
pass
are
the
so
microphone.
stupid
Pass
that
the
they
microphone now,
bang
Simon.
into porn, right?
Simon doesn't want to talk about
99%
the
of the internet, they
Bye,
bang
Simon.
into porn.
Bye,
Yeah,
Simon.
that's what's
Okay.
no,
Simon,
Fatty, chill. No, chill. Fatty.
Bye, Simon. You don't want to talk. You didn't want to answer the conversation, Simon.
I'm listening, bro. No, seriously.
No, Simon.
Simon, let me.
I'm listening.
I'll definitely come
Fatty,
back.
I'm listening. I like talking to you.
Yeah, definitely. I'll definitely come back. To
Well,
you.
you can drop him. He's fine. He's just under the influence. He's fine.
I'll pass it to the ladies. Final. It's about that time. But ladies, anything you guys wanted to add on about that whole conversation, everything we just talked about before about the communication part? Mina?
What did you say?
Well, I guess the question I asked Yadi before was, could you be able to love somebody the same after you leave or divorce or separate with that person?
I don't think you could. You're always gonna have love for the person, but I don't think you're gonna be in love with that person. And also it depends if they did something severe to you. Also, if they like something, me, I haven't. I like I said, I still have love for the person I was with, and I mean, only time will tell. Okay. So can't speak on the future.
You still have love, but it's not the same as you was.
Yeah, definitely not in love. But I do have love. I want this person to be successful. I want them to accomplish all the goals that they have and, be good. And I'm sure this person wants the same thing for me. But yeah, being in love, I think that's not possible. But I mean, you're always going to have love for a person that once upon a time, like you had good memories with, and, because they weren't always bad,
No, I think that's kind of.
I'll come to you, Simon. I'll come to you. But Yadi, say yes. I didn't get a chance to fully elaborate, but what are your thoughts about can you keep the same level of love after you moved on from somebody?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
And just because you loved them at one time doesn't mean you're always going to continue loving them, even at any aspect. Yeah. You can completely move on from them and not even think about them. It's not like wishing them any bad feelings or anything like that, but it's just you don't have that love there at all anymore in any way. Not negative, but just completely gone.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Do you think this is just my opinion, but I don't know if this sounds pathological, but I think from what I hear from most people that you generally want to have feelings for somebody, I think it's okay if you just cut people off. If you want to love them, that's fine, but if you don't want to, I think that's also okay as well. I think when the past is the past, you just want to cut that off. You want to leave everything in the past. You don't want to know anything what's going on with their life. We don't wish them any bad. You just don't want to involve or be associated with them at all. I just totally just cut it off and just move forward. That works best for me. But sometimes when I do have conversations with people, they genuinely want to keep that love or keep that door open. And I think if you don't want to, you don't have to. That doesn't make you less of a human being, or that doesn't make you a bad person.
I agree.
It means you just moved on. It just means you moved on.
I agree with that.
I think for healthy relationships, you need to cut that, because then what are you offering the new person you're with? You know, if you're still sending that other person love, or there's still love between y'all, you know, like I just don't see why people say, oh, we're adults or whatever, right? But like going back to the old days, that's not how it worked. You're in a committed relationship now, you know, like you don't keep in touch with your exes, or unless you have kids and you have to, like only for the kids. But I don't want to know all your business, you know.
Yeah. And I also think that can be also my personal opinion, that could be a red flag if you're choosing a partner that chooses to keep that love with all their exes. I think that's a red flag as well. I think that could be an open door that they are just using that as a backup, maybe potentially get back with their ex. I think if you're gonna move on, then move on. Don't look in the past. You know, I wish you the best, but I don't want my life to have anything part of you. We had our time. We
Yeah,
had our moment.
I think that's fair. Like you should just again move on, but you shouldn't, you know, have ill will towards it at one point. You know, they were something to you. Regardless, life happens or whatever. But I definitely don't think you need to stay in communication.
I have a question. How can I trust somebody that says they still love their ex? Like, and let's assume that's the best. Like,
how would you trust somebody if they're like vocalizing to you? First of all,
no, for example, like this my friend Simon from the United Kingdom. Hello, sir. He says he still loves his ex-wife, right? But he's looking for a woman. How can you trust somebody that says they love, like they use the word, the full LOVE, love their ex-wife? How can you actually trust a person like that? She's still in my life. How can I trust you, Simon, that you're not going to betray my sister because you love your ex-wife? Tell me, sir.
That's a good question, sir.
Please address it succinctly in 30 seconds.
So the thing is, it's unless you've been with a woman, and most women, what most men don't understand about women are they are the most interesting.
Houston, we have a problem. Houston,
you're not listening. You're not. Wait, hold. You're not listening.
You went like
no. You're not listening. Women are the most interesting thing you're gonna come.
Oh my God, Simon! You put to Mars again. It's the moon.
No, you're not.
I will repeat the question again, Simon. I promise.
You're not,
Simon, how can a woman trust you when you vocalize that you love your ex-wife and she's still in your life? It's a direct question. It's about you, not about man and woman in general. It's about you. How can a woman trust you when you say, I love my wife, ex-wife, she is on my life? Please, not.
Yeah, I'm trying to answer your question, bro.
Yes, but don't say women are beautiful and things.
Why can't I say that?
Because that has nothing to do with my question.
What? You don't think that's nothing to do?
What was my question, Simon?
You said what you said, okay? So what I'm saying to you,
Okay, I think this wrap-up time. This is the time to wrap it up. Yeah, we gotta wrap it up.
He knows what I'm talking about. At the end of the day, he just doesn't want to face
I don't know nothing, Simon. Leave me alone.
No,
leave me alone, Simon.
I'm not being personal.
Leave me alone, Simon.
Simon.
Yo, Fatty, don't take it personally. I'm just saying, like, until you have a woman in your life, right, and you understand what that means, it's a different thing. So the questions you're posing,
Simon, can I
I
ask you
understand. I understand.
Simon,
Yeah.
Simon, can I ask you a favor?
Yeah, I'm listening, bro.
Yeah, when you do meet that woman, that you tell her that you still love your ex-wife, and you still have a relationship with her. When you do that, when you meet that woman, can you bring on the stream? Because I wanna meet that woman. Then yeah.
Do you know what the funny thing is you know,
just bring her next time when you do meet her. But Simon, we have to wrap it up. The time is coming. But
I see where you're coming from, and I'm trying to convince her to do it because once she does it, it's gonna be an issue.
No, it's
And
going
it's
to be
gonna,
marvelous. It's going to be
no,
magnificent.
it's gonna be a bigger problem than when you saw me on Kendra G. Like it's gonna be a huge problem because like she and amongst other look, I'm yo, bro, like
Simon,
Oh
man,
my God, Simon, Simon, yo, hey,
you
hey,
don't know,
oh,
like
we gotta wrap it up, Simon. But you do meet her and you find her, just bring her on the next stream. And
yeah, shout out to you, shout out to Fatty,
come to my
shout out
panel
to
tomorrow, Simon. I'll leave you 1 hour for you to tell us your dreams and inspirations.
but
I got you, Simon. I got you.
yeah, we'll just leave it.
I've always had you, Fatty. I just didn't really understand why you didn't have me. So, you know, but the ladies
That
on the
was
stream,
very.
I appreciate you
Yes,
guys being
Thank you.
here.
As a
You
public
know
guest,
where I'm coming from for real. You
I
get
know
what
you
I'm
have.
saying?
I think you have a crush. I don't know.
let me pass it. Let me pass it back to the panel, and we'll get their final thoughts, and we'll close up the show. But first and foremost, thank you. Shout out to the live chat. Thank you so much for the live stream. A lot of you guys have been watching it for the entire show.
These ladies are gonna be lapping you up, man. Like in the next couple of years.
A shout out to the sophisticated Dirk, T.O., and Nas. Oh, I forgot to put this super chat. Nas415. Thank you so much for your super chat, super sticker. Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate that. And yeah, thank you for watching this entire stream. And I'll pass it back to the ladies. What are your final thoughts? Thank you so much for jumping on, making the time for being part of the panel and being part of the podcast. But what's your final thoughts from tonight's discussion?
Kevin Club.
How can people find you? I'll start with our newest guest here for the first time. Excited to have you here for the first time, Mina. Thank you so much. Final thoughts, and how can people find you, Mina?
It was fun. I knew it was gonna be fun, so I'm glad. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. You can find me on TikTok, Amena Mercy, IG, Amena Mercy, and I appreciate it. I had fun. It was nice meeting all of you. My Capricorn. Look at that face. Thank you. I appreciate it. I had fun.
Thank you so much, Mina. And then Yadi, final thoughts, and how can people find you?
Final thoughts. I don't believe unconditional love is real. And again, I'm sorry for jumping on late. That won't happen again. You can find me on Soul Sorceress HTX on IG. And that's it. It's always fun to meet you guys. And I really enjoy this. So thank you.
All right. No worries. And last but not least, Fatty, thank you as always. Be part of the pod. Final thoughts, and how can people find you?
Sorry for being late too. That was Carmen's fault. My show ran a little bit late. Will, I'm sorry. I apologize. But thank you for having me, and thank you to the girls for actually being good sports again. I think I'm saying this every week now, but it's way better than last season. Like last season before Will got the studio and all, it seems like every time I came on the panel, there was kind of a civil war. So I actually appreciate the ladies for being nice to me and for not actually falling for my dirty tricks. I actually appreciate you. And I appreciate I appreciate Simon for bringing clarity to this conversation. He was everything that this conversation needed because it was very confusing, but when it came, everything makes sense. So thank you, Simon Ektik. You are the man. Salute to you, sir. Appreciate you for being here. Thank you very much.
Okay, no worries, Fatty. Thank you so much. And Simon, thank you for jumping on as a public guest. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate all you guys in the live chat. Don't forget to tap in tomorrow's Mastermind, and we have the Pacific Island podcast on Fridays, and of course on Saturdays for all the single people in the live chat. I have, I believe, 7 or 8 ladies coming in on Saturday night. We're gonna have a good podcast. We're gonna have a good show on the Saturday night. So if you want to be a public guest for that one, don't forget to tap in, be part of my locals account. It's on the description of the video. You can jump on and be part of the podcast on the Friday or Saturday night podcast. And of course, if you want to watch the vlogs, the pre-show, after-show content, you can definitely sign up for my Patreon. It's on the description of the video. So if you want to donate and support the channel, definitely look up. And of course, there's a lot of exclusive content on there that I only post on those platforms. But nevertheless, I appreciate you guys. We had a great time. We had a great podcast. And Fatty and Simon, remember the general rule: solve it tonight. Right? Don't go to sleep.
We love each other. We're all brothers, and our sisters are brilliant, man. Look at
Hey,
these chicks.
hey, Will.
Jesus
Even if
Christ,
Simon
man.
wanted to solve it tonight, he wouldn't. He couldn't do it. It takes like 72 hours to get to the point.
I ain't concerned about Fatty. I'm just saying these chicks are
I
gorgeous.
tried.
Like, and you brought a huge good conversation. We was able to conversate and like bring
We
something.
kind of weren't, but it's fine. Keep lying.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, you know what it is, Fatty, man. Yeah, it is what it is. Yo, the brother brought it out. The brother brought it out. He brought it out, and you know, in comparison to what's going on out here, yo, let's be real.
Will, thank you for having me. I'm getting dizzy now, so I'm going to leave. Thank you.
Yo, salute, all you sisters and brothers out here, out. Let's go.